Hey yo, Ren, turn that up.
You know, same old church. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Roll up just to ease my mind. Remember them nights, them that lost my life. Ain't been the same since bro them died. Jump in the whip just to take me a ride. Hold up just to ease my mind. Bad bitch and she on the passenger side. Hold up, come and catch this vibe. Jump in the whip just to take me a ride. Roll up just to ease my mind. Remember them nights, them that lost my life. Ain't been the same since bro them died. And the whip just to take me a ride. Hold up just to ease my mind. Bad bitch and she on the passenger side. Hold up, come and catch this vibe. It's what you play in your ride. Stuff a wood with a 3-5. Then you go live. Fuck how they feeling inside. I do this shit for my guys. Free all of mine. Talked to lil' bro the other day. He told me he doing fine. But watch how I slide, cause niggas see you on the grind and they'll poke you with the iron. I told him I know that. Niggas know that I blow that. Keep a cannon out of Kodak. You oughta know that. I'm getting high with a dope at. Keep a wood at my notepad. Pull up where the smoke at. I wish I could get my bros back. I leave my bitch with a broke back when she wanna know that. But lately I've been in my feelings and I'm just wishing I can go back. Said I'm tryna ease my mind, cause I got too much pride from all these things inside. Cause all my people died, yeah. Jumped in a whip just to take me a ride. Just me and my pipe. Then I rolled me a wood just to ease my mind. To keep from crying, yeah. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Roll up just to ease my mind. Remember them nights, them that lost my life. Ain't been the same since bro them died. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Hold up just to ease my mind. Bad bitch and she on the passenger side. Hold up, come and catch this vibe. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Roll up just to ease my mind. Remember them nights, them that lost my life. Ain't been the same since bro them died. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Hold up just to ease my mind. Bad bitch and she on the passenger side. Hold up, come and catch this vibe. Catch this vibe. Come and catch this vibe. Yeah. Jump in the whip just to ease my mind. Ease my mind. Ease my mind.
No fuck no chill, love for it, you know it's all love, you know righteous. Come on, you said it right as ever for him. Oh fuck no, fuck niggas. Come on. When you know you that nigga on fuck no, you that nigga, bro.
Nigga, that's the court. You know what I'm saying? You see that they tearing this shit down though, man. I remember back in the day, everybody used to be out here joking and shit, man. It's your boy, young fella, man. You know what I'm saying? Tearing our shit down, nigga. Come on, nigga. Fuck with those. 60638 to the world, bro, though. You understand?
On this road from a boy to a man with no one to hold my hand. Shit, I'm just praying that I make it home safe. You never know what to expect when living life up in the jacks. One wrong step could be the reason you don't make it home safe. Gang writings on the walls, niggas running from the laws. But through it all, we just really trying to make it home safe. Navigating the obstacles of the streets can be one hell of a feat. Think it's sweet, you might not make it home safe. A bunch of children of the ghetto, unaware of the shit that awaited us all. Staring at the letter CVL spray painted on walls. Was just a tender boy, son of a single mother, expecting a baby girl. Now yet subjected to this crazy world. And at this time I'm thinking life was all Saturday morning cartoons and action figures, not knowing that as I get bigger that shit'll get dark soon. Them cap guns turned to broke revolvers with bodies on them. Some rebelled, some took to the streets cause ain't nobody want them. I went from mama's boy to child of the streets, a child of deceit. I was young and running wild in the streets, hanging with folks them, but I wouldn't plug. They just accepted me, gave me some lit, told me fear no Vic, that was the recipe. Can't run the streets if you know you got poor endurance. Stay on point cause proper preparation prevents poor performance. Had to look, listen and learn to peep the underhanded. Barely surviving, striving for knowledge, wisdom and understanding. Hit the county couple times, felt like I was stuck in time. Family looking at me like I lost my motherfucking mind. Coming home from school high, mommy tweaking, cursing me out. I holla, fuck you bitch, grab some of my shit then leave the house. Graduated to selling crack and weed, made a couple bucks but I was getting womped. Blind to the tricks of the older clucks, got stumped out by the police. For a young nigga in these cold streets it ain't no peace. All that speedball and get your brains left on a slow leak. Mommy moved us to the burbs. That created bigger issues. I'm on a metro headed to the hood with weed scales and pistols. Folks got jumped. It's go time. Now I think I'm a hitter. We never found them niggas. A blessing that I ain't have to pull a trigger. I thought I was too live with that bullshit 2-5. Trying to be something I wasn't. I was living true lies. To the memory of all my niggas left deceased, I post some liquor in your honor, hoping that you rest in peace. On this road from a boy to a man with no one to hold my hand. Shit, I'm just praying that I make it home safe. You never know what to expect when living life up in the jacks. One wrong step could be the reason you don't make it home safe. Gang writings on the walls, niggas running from the laws, but through it all, we just really trying to make it home safe. Navigating the obstacles of the streets can be one hell of a feat. Think it's sweet, you might not make it home safe.
A woman died after being shot multiple times while sitting in a car in the LeClaire Courts neighborhood.
Courtney Guzman is live at Mount Sinai Hospital with more.
On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what a cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Keep me in my ear. Oh. Great afternoon to you, wonderful people. We are live from inside the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios on this here Wednesday edition of I Said What I Said alongside Toussaint Werner. My name is Howard. Each and every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., we get together right here and we discuss issues that are currently impacting the black community, how those issues impact us as individuals, but also how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through those issues in the hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues. Again, overcome them as individuals, but perhaps more importantly, overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to hang out with us here on this Wednesday. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. We would kindly ask you, please take a quick second to share the broadcast. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Absolutely anyone that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of the discussion because we think the more like-minded individuals we can get to be a part of the discussion, the better the opportunities we have of reaching those aforementioned solutions. So please, please, please take a quick second and share the broadcast. Again, this is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? How you? I'm blessed and highly favored. What's the business?
Man, ain't nothing to it, man. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good on this here Wednesday, man. It's been a busy day so far today. Been a busy day so far today. You and I wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to catch those trucks, the 18-wheelers that they're driving down to Texas to offer some aid to the residents in Texas that are dealing with the repercussions from the freeze and not having power and food and water and all those types of things. And so they were sending, I think they're sending 3 18-wheel trucks down to Texas, and they leaving this evening. And so we wanted to make sure that we got over there to help donate some supplies. You came with the idea that that would be as good of a thing as any to do with the cuss fund jar that we have been raising throughout the month. So that's what we did. We got up early, went and bought what do they call it, a pallet, a crate. What do they call the thing? A pallet. A pallet. We bought a pallet of water. So we were sitting there and we going through. We just taking them off the pallet and putting it in the cart, and we filling up 2 and 3 carts. And you like, hey, there has to be a better way. Yes. There's got to be a better way than what we doing right now. Too much work. This ain't gonna work. I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Let me go ahead and talk to one of these people. I'm like, hey, yo, we want like all of that water out there. Can we not like put each one individual case in a cart and then, bring it in here, pay for it one at a time, just to take it back outside? Like, all we want to do is take it across the parking lot to those trucks. Can y'all please just come, like one of the things, lift up this pallet and really drive it across the parking lot? That would be phenomenal. Like, can y'all get that?
How much of this can y'all do?
You know what I'm saying? We'll take one case in the store and they can scan it 30 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do whatever y'all need to do. And we can bounce. Like, so fortunately, shout out to the staff, especially the young brother who was working over there at the Jewel over there on 119th, because that's where they were staged at, in the parking lot over there. And so we ended up just going in there. We tried to go a different route and go to a black store.
We tried our best to spin all black. Yeah. And even when we dropped the stuff off, man, we made sure that everything we dropped off to the trucks was only going to be delivered to black people.
Yeah, we asked for sure. You was like, hey, yo.
This here got to be stable.
Because that was my only question about it when you first mentioned that as an idea. I'm like, are they all getting to our people?
Texas got a lot of white folks. Yeah. No disrespect to them, but I know y'all going to get aid from somewhere else.
Yeah, now this particular set of trucks is going down to a church. Now, I forget the name of the church, but I do have the press release, so I will read it to y'all about the press release about where it's going. But the name, as soon as I saw the name of the pastor for the church down in Texas, I was like, oh no, we good.
You already knew what it was.
Yeah, it was like Lil Ricky Jenkins Jr. Jackson.
Lil Larry now.
I swear, it was like, I said, oh yeah, we good. It's good to go to his church. We straight. And so yeah, you definitely asked them. They like, nah, for sure. We all black when we get down there. So I was like, okay, cool. But really, thank y'all so very, very much. Each and every one of you all who contributed to the cuss foreign jar. First of all, like I said, shout out to Cassie too, because reached out to Cassie to find out how we could use all the money and buy the water from a black-owned establishment. We tried, we went, but what they had was
waited for them to open, went through all the black process.
Yeah, waited for them to open SCP time, but what they ended up having was like the gallon jugs or whatever, and it was like 8 or 9 of them. It was like we wasn't gonna work. We can't send 8 gallons of water down there. Like that's not gonna do it for us. So ultimately we did have to buy the pallet from Jules. But shout out to Cassie for trying to connect us and getting that done. But thank y'all so much for everything that y'all did to contribute. Every single dollar throughout the month. And I guess what's today? The 24th. We still got to not curse for like 4 more days. All of you all who contributed, whether you sent $5, $10, $20, $50, some of y'all sent just to hear Tucson curse.
Actually, that's you, Herb Howard.
I don't curse that much, man. That'd be you.
It's really you the worst.
That'd be you, man.
Way
I
worse than me.
don't be cursing that much, man. Be you.
Pretty bad with it.
Nah, I'm not, man. I'm pretty tame with my word choice.
I only get there like when I'm passionate about something.
You must be passionate about like good morning.
No. I only get there when I'm passionate about something. You get there to good morning. I went back. I watched the tape. It's like basketball, right? It's like watching the film.
Watch the tape. I curse a lot.
See how we improve. You.
Hey,
y'all. What the fuck is up?
Hey y'all, who cursed the most? Put Herb or two in the comments. Who curses the most on this show?
I make the most impactful curses.
Don't try to set no
Yours
excuses.
Get slid in under hello.
Don't try to set no excuses and no caveats.
No, people hear mine differently. Yours be like I said when you say, "Hey, what the fuck is up?" Then nobody pays attention to that. You know what I mean?
Your curse words hit different.
Yeah, mine get hit in different spots. I know how this works.
Two cuss the most, man. You finna see it in the comments. Everybody gonna say you. You curse the most. But anyway, all of you all who sent your hard-earned money, we appreciate it. Also, huge shout out to RO Double, who not only sent money for the curse jar 1 or 2 days.
Also laced us with the toiletries.
She also sent toiletries that are on their way. Well, I don't think they leave until like 7 o'clock tonight. That will be on their way down to Texas. Shout out RO Double. She sent the soaps and all the toiletries that people need. That the stuff you kind of forget about when you're trying to offer relief to people. She sent boxes of that stuff down there, and the people were grateful for that. RO Double. There was not a lot of those things on the truck. And so once we told them what was in those boxes, they were very, very grateful for those things. So shout out to Robin for doing that too. Shout out to you for going to
They sold me out already. It was definitely me. It was
definitely. T. Renee said too as well.
No way.
Robin said it was you.
No way.
Alvin says you.
It's the impactful. It's impactful. Yours get slipped in. That's it. That's all that is. I watch. Hey, also salute to our
Tiger said I spit them back to back.
We're going to put these products on the table because our Double blessed us with some beard balm and some soap. Herb ain't grown into his manhood yet, so he can't use the beard balm. So I'm going to take his eventually.
Hey, so last time when I had the beard stuff that came from Solo Beauty Supply, I gave it to T because he got the full face beard and all that. And so this time, I'm going to use it.
Okay.
This is my beard. This is what I got.
You gonna rub it on your chin?
Let me ask y'all a question, because I was just told that let me turn this. I'll show y'all in a minute. I gotta turn this other camera on to do it, but I'll show y'all in a minute. I got a beard, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This hair under my chin is my beard. Okay, just because it don't go all up my face and it don't start at my sideburns like you and T. Don't mean it's not a beard. It's just weird. This is what I have. This is what I have, and this is what I'm gonna put the stuff on. Y'all, is this a beard or no? Like, do a beard have to be like all the way up your face? Because that's what I was just told.
Yes. That's
what is this?
That's a goatee.
No, it's not.
It is.
The goatee is just like the connecting thing. What if it don't connect?
Then you don't got no beard.
So what about like Rick Rubin, the producer, who got a beard to the floor? No mustache at all, beard to the floor.
He's from the Caucasus Mountains. We don't count him in nothing. Know how we even got there? I don't know. Not part of my conversation.
Hey man, y'all gonna back up off my beard, man. Anyway, appreciate you, RO Double, for sending all the beard stuff. Dang, even my sister said I don't have a beard. She said you got facial hair, just like people aunties.
That was pretty good. I like that one.
She ignorant, man. She's ignorant.
Alvin said you got chin naps.
Chin naps. Y'all at my head. Y'all at my face. Like literally.
You just had to go get your halfway back. They can't talk about you right now.
Hey, I did just get crispy, G. I ain't gonna lie. Under this hat, whoo,
killing them.
Whoo, I'm fly as I can be under this hat, and you know this, man. Anyhow, whenever y'all done laughing at my lack thereof a beard, that's okay. Y'all gonna be y'all. I was gonna say y'all gonna be, but you, T, y'all probably hairy backed it as hell. Yeah, y'all like all kind of stuff just growing over your shoulder and crap, like just ridiculously hairy for no reason.
No, I'm really not that hairy at all, G. My daughter asked me yesterday, Daddy, do you shave your legs? I said, no, baby.
I got that question until I was like,
Cause I got hair on my face, but that's pretty much it.
people used to ask me that all the time. So I was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 years ago. I finally started. There's hair like you can see. But people like touch my legs. Like, do you shave your leg? Like, what? First of all, stop playing with me. Yeah. Second of all, no, I'm just not a hairy person. I don't have that much hair under my arms. I'm just not a hairy person like that. Just ain't.
Yeah, me neither, really.
Yeah. What?
He finally got it. Look at trying to get it.
You know how I know you get. Right. He trying to be escorted.
He was like 20 minutes late, but
right.
I like it. I like it.
He tried.
Step it up a little bit.
I'm gay because I don't grow hair like y'all. That's terrible, man.
He didn't control that shit.
Yeah, I don't have.
He was talking about shaving your legs. Like that's you know how you know you get. If you're a dude and you shave your legs, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, like just
that's extra metrosexual.
Yeah, no, that's you. What are you shaving your legs for, fam? You tweaking. But I was just always like, I just never really grew hair like that. So people ask me that, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Plus, I like to wear shorts. I almost wore shorts today. And I was like, oh, it's 45? Shorts.
It's cracking.
I
ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted to break the bike out.
I'm a white dude like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wear shorts. As soon as it's like not freezing, short me up, fam, for real. I'll be about the short life, for real.
Hey, do y'all remember Pineapple Express when dude had his armpits shaved?
I never watched that.
Yeah, I ain't never. I feel like I did see that, but I don't remember how.
And he was like, what man shaves under his arms? He said it makes me more aerodynamic when I fight.
I fight.
He would think that's funny. It's only funny because he thinks it's funny. And he's dying laughing.
Yeah, he's dying. What's wrong with you, man?
Oh God. Hey, we got to get that one too. That's gay from the Boondocks from Roddy's voice.
What'd he do?
You ever seen the
nigga,
Boondocks?
you gay.
It's gay. Yeah, we gonna get in trouble. We will get in trouble. It don't matter. We get in trouble anyway.
It's just kind of
it is
kind of what we do. But we had fun though out there. We had fun out there this morning though, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out in the doorway of the Jewels for 20 minutes, waiting for dude to come back with the stuff, the crane or whatever. Only for him to come back and tell me that we couldn't use the crane. So we still ended up loading the 4-5 carts up and just dragging it across the doggone parking lot. But it was cool. We had a good time. Two knows everybody, so you know, anytime Two standing somewhere for 5 minutes, somebody's gonna come up to him and have a 20-minute discussion.
Man, look at this. I just got it right before we came in here. Somebody hit me like, man, you got to check into this. What's that? Clubhouse.
Yeah, Clubhouse.
Your perspective will really be needed.
Yeah, we should definitely do a Clubhouse space.
So
I mean, a Clubhouse.
I ain't gonna lie to you, right? We do this, and that's really enough for me.
No, I'm with you. Like I don't talk that much after this show.
But I don't like Clubhouse. I don't like doing Instagram. I don't like all that. And specifically as we do this every day for 3 hours, it's really like I'm not into it no more.
No, I feel you, but that's definitely a space that we could utilize and just not.
I get it, Mom. I showed you that
expand the conversation.
That,
you know what I mean?
That text the homie sent me the other day. He was like, "Man, if it ain't online, you didn't do it."
Right.
And he was trying to egg me on to put stuff up online that I've been engaged in.
Right. And
I don't even keep up with that stuff like that.
I don't even move like that.
Yeah, but so the person hit me like, "Man, you need to be in this Clubhouse room."
Yeah.
And I don't do that, but I Ubered over here because I'm tired and I really just want to sleep. So I got my headphones in, so I plugged it in and I checked it out. And I don't even know the last time I was on Clubhouse. So I'm in what's the audience part, I guess it's called. I told her I wasn't doing them, but I was like, man, I'm on the Zoom call.
All right.
She's listening to this too, so do I just show my head? Did I lie? That's smart enough. Messed that up.
You know how I know you're stupid.
messed that all the way up. But I didn't really want to engage in the conversation, but I'm listening or whatever. And it was a dope conversation, interesting conversation. But she introduced me like, the unofficial mayor of Chicago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was heavy hitters in the room. It was some heavy hitting people in the room that I know matter.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was really interesting, man. But the conversation was really interesting too, because they was talking about cultural appropriation in the tech space and how to control it or how not to control it, or new ways to leverage it and stuff like that. And it gets back to the conversation at Capitol I like to kind of have, like, where do we go beyond Capitol? But they came up with this concept. Somebody in the room was like a heavy tech guy, and he was saying we're trying to create something called the overweb. And in that concept, it was like a Amber Alert kind of concept for any time misinformation got reported on the web. You know what I mean? Like and it's creating a logarithm, I guess you would say, or I guess it would be logarithm. So whenever something, imagine if you got an Amber Alert every time somebody puts some bogus information out on the web.
Right.
And it was an interesting conversation, but I got to thinking, like, who decides whether or not it's bogus?
It's bogus, right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that gets back into a conversation of power, and it also, threatens the First Amendment of freedom of speech.
Like until yesterday or until whatever day that NYPD detective came out with his deathbed confessional, if I had put on the internet, NYPD killed Malcolm X, they get an Amber Alert for taking it down. That's not true. Yeah.
It's kind of like how Facebook monitors hate speech today.
Right.
We got I think it was Don yesterday sent us a text before the show was over. Like, man, I just got my page flagged because I said this in the comments.
Yeah.
The day we was in here, the reason why we created the Herb and Two Facebook page is because I got my page flagged for saying something that really wasn't. It wasn't. They said it wasn't culturally. He said it was culturally offensive or hate speech or something like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that kind of a deal. You know what I mean? But again, who decides?
Mm-hmm.
Who decides what's authentic and what's not authentic?
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you question that? How do you challenge that if you don't have free speech?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think we get into this kind of place where we're so, I don't know, man. We kind of live in these echo chambers, though, and I get that, and that's harmful. People tune in to Fox, they only gonna hear what they want to hear because Fox is only gonna sell you on one idea.
Right.
Other people are tuned in to CNN, they gonna only hear what they want to hear because CNN is gonna only sell you on kind of one idea.
Right.
And if you're not kind of open and fluid to all of the ideas and you're formulating your own thoughts around them via multiple sources of research, then you always going to be kind of led astray. But it's interesting to have a thought process to say somebody's going to monitor what is and what isn't truth. And how do we define that that's very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. That's very interesting to me. Like even in the context of the conversation we was having the other day with the Joe Buddens and the Charlemagne, who's to say which is truth and which isn't truth?
Yeah.
Which is right and which isn't right?
Right.
And in the context of our needs as a populace, specifically being at the being a bottom caste, damn near everything we say, everything that would be spewed out of our mouth would be anchored in untruth.
Absolutely.
Because the powers that be would dictate who says and who isn't telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything we say would be deemed a lie.
Right.
It threatens their power.
Chicago police killed Fred Hampton. Flag.
No, it didn't. Right.
You know what I mean?
Your shirt get a flag.
Right. You know what I mean? William O'Neill killed Fred. It'll be those kind of conversations that will be happening.
Absolutely.
I'll be like, wait a minute, man. Hold on.
Absolutely.
Who dictates that?
Yeah.
And even and this is the guy on the platform talking about, this would be a dope concept. And I think theoretically it is dope. But I think that there's a level of misunderstanding of power that we don't grasp. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's the same thing with Facebook. I don't know who them people are that monitors what is and isn't hate speech. Mm-hmm. Right. And who dictates whether it is or isn't hate speech, and who gives a shit.
Right.
Right. Like if I'm offended by hate speech, turn the dial.
That's what you can do.
That's what you could do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I'm intrigued by hate speech, I can tune in. That's your right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a game of power, and now this, this kind of, what do they call it? The dismissive culture. What is that? The
cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Mm-hmm. Right. That's so whack to me.
Yeah. You get canceled for saying something that other people just because people don't like it.
Who says I'm offended?
Right.
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 How can you cancel someone for everybody?
Right.
Because what offends you might not offend me.
Right.
Period.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? I just think it's very interesting.
No, it is. But that's the power construct we always talking about, right? When you are in control, you can create that dynamic. You can set that. You can control. That's true, and that it ain't true, right? It's you make the analogy of America being our parent figure, right? All the time. You do that to. I don't mean you specifically, but parents do that to their children all the time, right? You tell them stuff just because, right? Just because I don't really, this ain't up for debate here. This ain't right and wrong. It's what I said and what you said don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? what you said does not really matter at all. And so I think that's kind of just how that thing plays out in the same way when you're an adult and you're dealing with this system and who's in power, right? And so you tell your kids whatever you want. We tell kids all kind of shit that ain't true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but who's in control of dictating that truth and who holds the perspective of truth? That's a slippery slope to me. You know, you think about I can't remember the homie's name who's on Instagram. He's fairly popular. He's written a couple books. Teaches kids about guns a lot. You brought him on. You brought something he had on here one time talking about. He reminded you of me when he was talking about. You know, y'all went to party last night. How much money did that make you? Did you vote? That guy. I can't remember his name. But he gets a lot of backlash because he's oftentimes showing his children learning how to operate weapons. You know, but then you can juxtapose that with like the white community and how powerful the NRA is, and that's a common thing amongst them.
Normal.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it should be normal amongst us too, but because there's a skewed perspective,
right,
you get this kind of response like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Then you get another like, no, you should be doing that.
Right, because their guns are for food and sport and defense.
And the only thought
our guns are for robbery and unjustified murder. You know what I mean?
Stereotype just attached to blackness.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That is what dictates that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why that difference is apparent. You know what I mean?
Period.
It's what you expect us to do with guns versus what you expect them to do with guns.
Right.
Never mind the history of who actually does who causes more terror with guns. Right. Never mind what the actual history and the actual data will show you.
Derek Grace. Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
It's not about what you shown.
That's his name, Derek Grace. Appreciate it.
Show more. Like, that's...
Nyla said she got flagged for saying YT, men are weak.
Yeah.
I wonder if she put it as YT or she actually spelled out white.
No, YT. That's how the people be putting it. White.
I know YT, but if they flag that, so the reason they put it as YT is so they don't get flagged.
Yeah, but once they figure out you still talking about me, okay, we done.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah,
like we all laughing about it, we talking about it, but I don't think we fully understand the consequences of that level of monitoring our communication, right? Because we got to be honest, right? Social media is the modicum in which the world communicates these days.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
And when they start to dictate how you can leverage that medium, it's going to be interesting. You know, it's going to be interesting. The move with all of the black social uprisings and the movements, all of those things stem from social media.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of conversations that even black entrepreneurship that y'all are so aligned with, without social media, y'all have no means of distribution. Y'all not getting in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To get a product in Walmart, whatever the retail cost is, you got to get it for wholesale prices under $1.
Yeah,
you can't buy that here.
Well, Walmart set their own prices.
But my point is, Walmart is Walmart because of their level of distribution. Amazon is Amazon because of their level of distribution. Yeah. So all these new entrepreneurs that have popped up, they've popped up because of the viability of the web. Now you can create your own distribution.
You can go direct to consumer now in a way that's never been possible before.
Never been possible. Mm-hmm. But if they can monitor how you communicate, let's say you put a shirt out that said, "I'm not my ancestors, you'll get them hands," and they felt like that was offensive. That's over for that product. It's over. You know what I mean? It's over. So I think we need to be paying attention to this stuff, man. And I don't know how we can monitor it for sure, but I don't know how we can stop it or control it because these are private entities.
R.O. just made a good point that, you can say nigga all day.
There it is.
Nobody's getting flagged for that.
Shows you perspective on who's offended.
Mm-hmm. It's like we often mention in this conversation, the censorship and what's allowed and what's not. The Dave Chappelle thing. I can say nigga all day. I can't say fag though.
Try saying the K word on any platform. I was about to ask you what's the K word, but then it came to me.
What's the K word?
I'll tell you later. Because we'll get flagged for that for sure, just for saying it.
What's the last word? What's the last letter in the word?
E.
E?
Mm-hmm. It's a derogatory term.
Kike or whatever.
We're about to get cut off. That Mace Jack just came here 5 minutes ago and said, "Hey man, we got to slow down though. We're about to get flagged."
He said videos. I think you could say it.
Okay, keep playing.
But your point is well made, right? So watch this. I just want to see, nigga. kike. Which one is gonna get the thing flagged?
Well, when they come back, they're gonna say it was a tie.
One was tied around the neck. One was tied in the gas chamber. You know, it's a slippery slope.
It is, man. It is, man. I gotta.
You know, that's how rare that term is used, though. I didn't even know what he was talking about.
Yeah, but you know why it's that rare? Because in the mediums in which you would hear those kind of terms, they are the power. Period.
You know what's crazy? Black people, they're like, I don't know who, right? Certainly not everybody, but there are black people out there who just heard me say that and they cringed. Like, ew, you shouldn't say that.
It's probably black people out here who never even heard that word.
That part too.
Don't even know what that word means.
But even people who have and do, they like, ooh,
but
he
it
said.
Speaks to the unifying
but
power of
we don't get that
Jewish
response about the
population,
N-word.
right? They're not going. You know what I mean? And they're not going at all. But it also speaks to our level of powerlessness. You know what I mean? We allow nigga to go all the time. You know, I made a joke the other day because I think it was R.O. who was reading Beach's book, and he has a whole chapter dedicated to why we shouldn't use the word nigga. And I love Beach, and I use nigga when talking to Beach. You know what I mean? And again, we've been conditioned. It's normalized in our community. You know what I mean? And nigga has 800,000 meanings, right? It could be a term of endearment, or you know, I'm about to get into it with you. It just goes, you know, based on the tone in which you use it. It means different things.
It does,
but it's still about our conditioning, right? How
Agreed.
we accepted being in that bottom caste, how we've accepted being lesser than. You know what I mean? We even promoted at some levels because of the way we communicate. You know, that's why he's so against the word. You know what I mean? But but you know, there are other words that are in the lexicon that we don't even hear anymore. I told you about when I was riding my bike and I was playing like 80s hip hop.
Yeah.
And how many times I heard the word faggot.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that I wasn't hearing it no more until I turned 80s hip hop on. Like you don't hear that word no more.
Nah. I'm always watching stand up comedy, so I think the other night I fell asleep to Delirious. Delirious is a fag fest. You hear me? Like he in his intro when he's just kind of just saying hello to the people. He walking around. He said, "I gotta get some rules set up in here. First of all, if you're a homosexual, no, he said if you're a fag, you're not allowed to look at my ass." You know what I'm saying? He said that's why I turn a lot when I'm up here. He said that way if you do get a look at it, you don't get to just stare at my shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I can feel when y'all staring at me because my ass get hot. Right? He's like, if you don't know what a fag section is, you just got to keep moving on stage. Like it was like 5 minutes of this. Like it's all, and then all throughout the show. You know what I'm saying? I did some jokes about Mr. T. I said Mr. T was a fag. You know what I'm saying? Like he was. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. He couldn't stop saying it. You know what I'm saying? And nobody was like, "Oh, cancel Eddie Murphy." Like that was at his height. That's really when he took off to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Delirious came, and Raw, and Harlem Nights, and Coming to America, and first 48 hours and all that.
I appreciate that world a lot more.
Yeah,
I don't like what they call Gen Z.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gen Z and millennials, and I know y'all millennials, but you know the spectrum is low too. Like from the lower end of the spectrum, the younger we get, the more sensitive we become.
It's the pussification of America, as I like to say.
Just being sensitive though, we also just misinformed.
That part too,
right? So I told you not too long ago we had the homie Brian on, and he's doing the magazine, and we wrote articles for the magazine, and a few of my partners wrote articles for the magazine, and it was being funded by somebody, but they also brought in some millennials to help put together the magazine. And when they read the articles, they was like, well, you know, this is a little aggressive.
Right.
Wait a minute, man.
As though we don't need aggression.
Wait a minute, man. We've been enslaved for 400 years, right? And we dealing with the prison industrial complex. We deal with cultural appropriation in the media. I mean, like our whole experience has been aggressive. And you telling me that I can't be aggressive in how I communicate to my people?
America is about aggression.
Yeah, but the pussification of the next generation is just
because it allows America to continue to be more aggressive. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, you just turn down everything. It's like nobody's here to coddle you like that, right? Nobody's here. Like when I was growing up, it was about like, how tough can I make you for this world? You know what I mean?
This is R.O. It says it kills me to hear Hispanics call each other the N-word. Let me tell y'all something, man. So I went to high school in Iowa. I got in trouble, had to go to high school in Iowa, right? 'Cause I went to high school in Iowa. So I went to high school in Iowa. 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 I went to high school in I heard a white dude say the N-word, and he was not using it in a derogatory manner, just amongst
Just using it.
some people.
Right.
I ain't with it.
Nah.
Me and you finna have a real problem, family. I ain't with it. Now I'm gonna tell you this too, though. I've been in other situations where it be thousands of white folks, and they'll use the N-word, and I get to move it around
Because math.
because it's just not gonna work out in my favor.
Because math. I told you I like to go to music festivals, right? And so, you know, unless I'm at Afropunk, this is the only one I've ever been to where it was a majority black crowd. Otherwise, it's majority white.
Except for all the Chicago Southside Music Fest.
Well, yeah. Shout out to all of the Chicago Southside Music Fest.
I think we the only city in the country who do it like that. So I just shouted that out. Maybe Cincinnati was a jazz fest.
Oh, that's real. That's real. But other than that, you know, majority white crowds. And then so Lil Wayne is there, or, you know, pick a person.
I ain't with all that either.
I'm just saying, pick a person, and then it's, you know, nigga this, nigga that in the song, and you got 50,000 white people, nigga this, nigga that, every other word. And it's like, I don't like it. It's weird. Don't do it. And then it's funny because, like, everybody that's, like, immediately around you, like, those white people, they like,
They looking at you to see your response.
Is it okay?
Right.
It's not okay.
Yeah, I ain't with it.
Like, and so they like, and they tempering themselves while all the other white people going off, and they like feeling left out. Like, oh, let's move it. We can go say nigger in peace.
But then you go back to perspective, right? Mm-hmm. So you get when you start thinking about the coast, New York and California, there's such a cultural hodgepodge out of them coasts that they just adapt culture. So even like what's my man? Not Big Pun, but Fat Joe. Fat Joe is a Puerto Rican cat, right? And he's nigga this and nigga that is, and all the people in New York standing behind him like justifying that. No, homie, that don't rock. That don't rock. But it's about that cultural understanding. In Chicago, though, the Puerto Ricans and the blacks they're not
connected.
They
like
don't
that.
connect
They
like
don't,
that.
We don't really. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I catch a Puerto Rican saying, nigga, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be in a derogatory term. We've had this kind of conflict back and forth for the duration of my experience in this city. This ain't New York. But again, back to who controls the media, how they leverage media, how they use black folk, right? When you start thinking about our representation in media, where does it come from? It comes from those coasts, right? So those people get on TV and they start dictating how the energy should be leveraged throughout the rest of this country. When those coasts don't match up to the culture for the rest of this country, right? You are a coast and you are a coast. The rest of this country has a very different understanding of those experiences and those words and how they're used.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't with it. You know, but there's legitimate arguments around Fat Joe being able to use the word nigga. No.
Yeah.
But everybody in New York, every brother that stands, even when you hear the black and Latino, you know, the people of color concept legitimately comes from an illusionary connectivity between blacks and Hispanics. That only happens really in New York, because it ain't even like that in L.A. Right?
Yeah.
So here's this word that kind of is a part of the communication lexicon now.
Right.
And it's only attributed to New York and only probably New York City. It ain't even upstate New York.
We roll with it because we are trying to find value somewhere, bro. And so no different from the black homosexual man saying, no, I identify as a gay man before I identify as a black man, right? It is because that's where I find value at. I've never found value in just being a black man. Gay black man, I can find value in that, right? I think it's the same type of thing. We've never really had our voices heard as black issues. Well, maybe if we lump in with the Latinos and the Asians and the Indians, then and the Africans, right? Now it's a people of color conversation. Now we can all kind of jump in. See, it's like,
Think about how interesting this is. We'll have a segment of our population get on mass media to defend a Fat Joe for leveraging the word nigga, right? And we'll leverage the Puerto Rican community as a part of us, the diaspora, right? We with the Puerto Ricans. And I'm not even necessarily against this, but I just want you to think about this in terms of the context of the conversation. So we'll get a part of our populace to kind of protect Fat Joe in that regard. But then there's the conversation of the American descendants of slaves come about, right? And then you get the same community saying, you know, I'm not unique in that sense, or, you know, we're disrespectful to the other black people in the diaspora for having this unique understanding. And it's like they start calling the Adolf's community xenophobic.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Talib Kweli went to war with the Adolf's community. I guarantee you, Talib Kweli would stand behind Fat Joe and let him use nigga all day long. That's so interesting to me. And I wonder if it speaks to, again, just our value sets. Like, how do we feel about ourselves?
Not very highly, right? Both not very high internally in terms of genuinely, okay, how we value ourselves, how we view ourselves, but also in terms of how we think other people view us and value us. That is to say that we are not enough, right? We are not enough in and of ourselves to stand on the things that we believe in and fight victoriously for those interests. And so if I don't feel capable, then I need to partner up with somebody else who can then make me feel more capable, who can then make me feel like my voice is now being amplified and more people are going to hear me now, because it's not just the bottom caste black people. It's also the next to bottom caste Latino people and the next to bottom caste Asian people, or the next to bottom caste Indian people. You know what I mean? Like there's a different kind of thing there, right? When you talk about bringing those other groups of people in.
So Darius Thomas says many Puerto Ricans and Dominicans claim that they were bought from the continent and just dropped off first. They are somewhat American descendants of slaves. They are somewhat Adolfs. Thoughts?
They're zero Adolfs.
They're zero Adolfs.
That thing is half true, right?
It's half true.
Everything you said
they
about
are from the continent.
They left the continent and their boat landed in a different place. True.
That's
Nobody's
all
disputing
true.
that. That is true. Right?
That's true.
You go back 400 years, 450 years, 500 years, we were in the same place. Fact. You fast forward 400, 450, 500 years, we are not the same people. We have not had a similar experience. There's no one here who can say my grandma or my great grandma or her grandma had the same experience as, you know, a similar person in the Dominican or Puerto Rico or wherever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same. There was a different experience that was unique to black people here. That is what ADOS is about.
Yeah, it wasn't the same experience once they got dropped off. It wasn't the same experience for the slaves in Haiti once they got dropped off. It's created something different.
And if you want,
it wasn't the same experience in Jamaica, although all of them are from the continent. All of them, right? But
who owes you? That's like it's who owes you, right? So if Ron owed me money, right, and I'm like, I'm at Ron Head till he give me my money. And then you like, okay, well, I'm at Ron Head too till he give me money. Ron don't owe you shit, fam. You need to be hollering at whoever owe you money. So if that's Haiti or if that's Jamaica, like whoever owes you, go ahead. I applaud it. Go get yours.
That's the political context, right? But even the social context is different. You know what I mean? I'm named Toussaint after Toussaint Louverture, right? Salute to Toussaint Louverture, right? Without Toussaint Louverture, there would be no Louisiana. Salute to Toussaint Louverture, right? I ain't never been to Haiti in my life. I desire to go. I want to go, right? But they were colonized by the French. That's a different understanding, right? They speak a different language. It's a different experience. That doesn't make me xenophobic for pointing out the difference,
right?
Right? But I think it's just interesting from a social standpoint, where we can get one segment of this culture, one segment of this population, one segment of ADOS people in America who grew up on a coastal shore it's a huge city, but in context to the rest of America, it's small, right? And they dictate the energy for the rest of the cultural understanding. So those same people will come out against people who acknowledge and honor that ADOS banner and say, y'all are xenophobic, right? But then those same people will embrace what's my man's name, the rapper? Fat Joe, while he leverages the word nigga, which is a derogatory term, right? And it's leveraged by other cultures, Spanish included, Hispanic included, right? To dookie on black folks. I just think it's a very interesting paradigm.
No, it's definitely interesting. And I'm not even here to say that I'm not even arguing better or worse, right? When we talk about those differing experiences, I'm not here to say that the Black American experience was so much worse than the Haitian experience. I'm not making that comparison. I could.
Yeah, I'm not.
I could positively
it's not the struggle Olympics for me. I'm just saying.
It's not about the struggle. There's just a difference. So I'm not.
We pick cotton. Y'all pick sugar. That's different.
Ours was worse than yours. I'm not here to say worse, right? I'm telling you it's different.
Yeah.
And so
Jamaica, most of the
and y'all trying to lump y'all stuff in with ours makes it more difficult for us to go get ours. That's all I'm saying. You're making it more difficult for me to go get mine.
From a political standpoint. That's the only reason it matters for me in regards to the context of using the language ADOS.
Yeah.
From a political standpoint, it matters in that context.
Absolutely.
Right? In regards to the diaspora, I'm not disregarding the diaspora. I don't have any contempt for the diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
Love all black people.
Mm-hmm.
I just do.
Yeah, but
now, and I'm gonna say this too. I don't think that's something that's reciprocal.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that's
it's not.
I think that's a unique.
We know that.
I think that's a unique thing from these shores.
You speak to you talk to anybody who still has, maybe first generation or how do I want to say this? Previous, like your parents or your grandparents were from the continent. Like actually, they don't rock with us, fam. They tell even like if you was a first generation American, your people don't rock with us, fam, and they tell you not to rock with us. Same thing, like from all of them places, they don't rock with, and they'll tell you that.
But in the reverse of that,
they did. My mom and my daddy told me don't rock with y'all.
But in the reverse of that, because our legacy was kind of stolen from us, right? Because we don't really have a full cultural understanding of who and where we're from. Even in the context of us claiming African American, even in the context of us claiming a duality in those continents instead of a real cultural anchoring, right? Mm-hmm. It's almost a necessity. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a necessity, but it's like a what did the word how did Joe Budden say about Charlamagne the other day? It's like a healthy obsession.
Right.
It's a healthy obsession with the continent because we want to feel connected to something. Right. We've always wanted to feel connected to something. You know what I mean? And even in wanting and desiring to feel connected to something, we've shunned our own rich history to feel applicable or to access that desire. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So in that vein, to say that we're xenophobic, I think that's irrational.
Yeah, I mean it's how you go about winning an argument, though. You know what I mean? It's just a means to an end for them. They're just trying to win a particular argument. Mm-hmm. And so you being xenophobic. No, I'm not. I'm telling you that thing is different from this thing. That's all I'm saying.
Pan-Africanism is a diasporan concept. I agree, but it should be a diasporan concept, but it is a concept that started on this soil though, and it's based in the same thing I said, is in our desire to feel uniquely linked to the rest of the diaspora. Now, in regards to politics, though, once this new information kind of arose,
right,
and you say, "Wait a minute, man, there's a possibility for me to go get
that makes more sense. We turn
you know what I'm saying? Some repair for what's been done to me. Mm-hmm. From a political standpoint, we have to acknowledge the uniqueness of our experience because we got to identify those who the harm was raised upon.
That's it.
That's it.
There's a debt owed. Who's it owed to, and who owes them that? Mm-hmm. You either in that equation or you aren't, and those people just are not in that particular equation. That's it. It's not personal. It's not nothing. You aren't in this conversation. It's
but outside of who those people are, I think it's interesting who becomes the public faces of these conversations, specifically when they're kind of anti the concept. Mm-hmm. That's why I used Talib Kweli specifically, right? Because Talib Kweli was like very, 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 very vocal about being anti the ADOS movement, right? And be clear about this. I ain't even fully with the ADOS movement. I say it all the time. I think some of the ideas are brilliant. I think some of the people behind it are kind of cultish, in my opinion. It gets a little out of order sometimes, and I think the understanding is very unique and different within the inside understanding of that group. I wouldn't really rock with it, right? But the idea itself is brilliant. You cannot deny the data. You can't.
Yeah, and that's just really what it boils down to. It's the data. And when you throw these other people in, and it kind of muddies the waters for us a little bit. To where it's like, not only is it a question of, okay, who does this belong to, right? Who is this debt owed to, right? It's these people. It makes it more complicated to even figure that out. But then, even if you figure it out, it brings in more dividends. It's more people to divide this money up with. You know what I mean? And it's like, now y'all really infringing on something that doesn't belong to y'all, right? And especially when you talk about groups of people who, for however long they've been over here, 1 generation, 2 generations, 3 generations, right? You've never tried to be in partnership with us about anything. Now there's a conversation about reparations. Oh, we with them. You've never been with us. Never. Not at any point have you been like, hey, I'm just like them. Until we start talking about a check getting cut. Now we just like them? Hell nah. I ain't never had one of them people like, hey, we all the same. I'm just like y'all. Everybody like, y'all different. Lazy ass black people, ignorant ass black people. They don't want to read. They don't want to work. They don't. Man, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. First of all, that's number one. Second of all, whatever. Keep your opinion don't even matter, right? But now that it's about reparations, now it's like we all one. No, we aren't.
Yeah.
No, we aren't.
I think there's a lot of conversation mixed into this one. I know we finna go to break, but partially why I brought this to the forefront because there's been this back and forth battle between Lakeith Stansfield and Charlamagne the God.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we was kind of centered. This conversation we was having was kind of centered around cultural understanding. But for me, it's less about that. It's more about the voices that are prominent in the space and whether or not they are informed or if they're ignorant. And this conversation with Lakeith Stansfield and Charlamagne the God has been going back and forth for almost like a year now. I remember the earlier days of the pod when we was doing this still at the kitchen table, and this conversation came about because Lakeith said that the Breakfast Club was a white supremacist radio show.
Right. I remember we had that conversation.
And I fully agree with him.
Right. I remember we had that conversation on the show. I remember that. Yeah.
Right. And
I forgot what this thing was stemming from. But I remember.
Well, this is what they say it stems from. We're going to break when we because there's a whole article about it now because there's some more stuff going on.
Let's touch it on the other side of the break.
Let's do that.
Yeah, on the other side of the break, we'll get into that. What is the issue between Lakeith Stanfield and Charlamagne the God? It dates back sometime now. It is in the news. Ron is feeling left out, so he has to just throw random sounds in there. Ron, I promise you.
I don't even get that play. What are you talking about me? It's you, Ron.
When we come back from break, Ron, we'll say hello to you. Okay, we'll say hello. You don't have to throw random sounds into the middle of the show. This is I Say What I Said. His name is Tu. My name is Herb. We'll be right back. Now when we want something to play, he has nothing for it.
IFTBPM. Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info. Tune in to Parenting in a Pandemic, powered by the Chicagoland Mom Squad, every Thursday at noon, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. What's in it for the black people? That which we invent, of course. Let's see if we could list some black inventors using the letters WIIFTBP. Here it goes. J.T. White invented the lemon squeezer. A.C. Richardson made an insect destroyer gun. Isaac Johnson made improvements to the bicycle frame. Robert F. Fleming Jr. made the guitar. Valerie Thomas hit us with the illusion transmitter. Ow! Purdy Zagwar gave us the folding chair. Now, go create some stuff. Make us proud, black people. It's legacy time.
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black.
All day. Check it out. See, while you was on the corner trying to scrape up pack money, I was driving 80 stack trucks off rap money. I'm back money. If you want it, come to the hundreds and ask for me. Meet them OGs that'll blast for me. I'm right here. Ill Adidas, $400 jeans on me. Itchy with no safety, a loaded magazine on me. Southside, that's as wild as it gets. And no, I never sold crack. That's some house nigga shit. I'm not judging, but every man that's a man gotta stand by his principles, and I'm not budging. That's Mickey. You can take me, you can fake it how you want. I spit that uncut. Break it down any way you like, you get the same result. Get in tune, the elephant in the room has now assumed pole position. Whoa. Live from the gutter where that butter get gorillas jobs. That's why we call it work. The same work will get a nigga robbed. I throw my dice against the concrete. If the bitches pass, see you later. Grab my paper, tell us later, kiss my ass. This the jungle, baby, I'm a lion. Try me, I'll be firing. The same banger, save Private Ryan. You the prey, you survive and hide. Better pray that them vultures and them rovers don't go flying by him. The mother niggas just so-so. How Linda birth a nigga this hot in the cold go? I went from 20-inch assassins on that Osmo to the pretty 760 sitting low on them bozos. Those are big shoes, you motherfuckers is so slow. Get caught without your heat in these streets is a no-no. Baby need Pampers, daddy need that photo. It's bread or nothing, big old niggas, you see the logo. Whoa. Whoa. Come on, Scooter. Look, I don't see a nigga alive. And if a nigga claim he better, then that nigga done lied. And if some niggas jump chose, bet them niggas done died. You can always spot a cobra by the look in his eyes. You look at his click, check out his bitch, look at his guys. Cause 9 times out of 10, all that tough shit be just a disguise. And that does it. I got the chrome Mac in a black luggage. Cause money ain't the root of evil, Jack is the lack of it. I stay different. I move around like yo hating women. I'm starting to think.
What is happening? What is happening? What is happening, family? We are back. We are live inside the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Werner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. We think it is the blackest conversation in America, and we could not be any more thrilled for the fact that you are here with us. Thank each and every one of you all for tuning in. Shout out to y'all watching on Facebook. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. Thank you to everybody who catches the show later after they wrap up their day. It's always an absolute joy to come back and see how many people have tuned in and sent messages and made comments about the show later on this evening. We appreciate all y'all. The Iswiz fam is so dope, man. I saw you put up the pictures, man, because first of all, we have to tell y'all the truth about these pictures that we took while we was out there at the delivery trucks today. We had to get out or come back to the trucks to take the pictures because we wasn't thinking about the doggone pictures. Like we got rid of the water. It was like, oh shit. We should at least take the doggone pictures, right? Unless we was going, other than that, all we're going to have is the receipt to say that we went, and did that. So we had to go back and take the pictures, and then you just kind of feel stupid. At least me. This taking pictures when you're doing something, good. I'd be like, I don't want to take the picture. Like now I feel like the people that I talk about. Like, just do the good thing. You don't got to take pictures for it. But I was glad. You put it up, and it was just good. I felt so good to be a member of the Iswiz fam for what we were able to do as a collective today.
I told you this the other day, though, man. Both of us got a level of our arrogance.
Is that what it is?
It's some level of arrogance, right? Certain shit we don't think we supposed to do. You know what I mean? But even in regards to our networks or whatever, we can have way more guests on here. I just don't feel like I should be calling nobody. I almost feel like you should be calling me.
Oh yeah, now that is a real thing. And I don't know if it's arrogant so much as, yeah, I guess you're right. It's a pride thing. Like I don't want to call you hey, come on my show. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
We need to do it though.
We do. We absolutely need to do it. I mean, we've chosen the lane.
Arrogance is a prison.
We've chosen the lane. If we're gonna be in the lane, we should operate within it to the fullest capacity.
That's true.
Right? And to this point, we have not. Nonetheless, man, I felt absolutely thrilled to be one member of the Iswiz fam today, man. Once you did have the pictures up there, I was like, that's super, super dope, man. And so extremely proud to be a part of this family, extremely grateful for everybody's contribution to this family. Y'all is dope. Super dope. To that end, some of you all are waiting on hoodies to come in. Some of you all have sent the money, and we're waiting on the hoodies to come in. Told you all there was some delays with the shipping, and I don't know what that issue was about. They told me different things about weather and getting hoodies from here to there. I don't know. I don't know what this ball was dropped, but your hoodie orders are in. They are on the way, and we have them. Some of you all have some special orders that are coming in. Shout out to the brother Howard Trout, who is a big and tall brother. He had to get some custom things done for his. So, good brother Howard, we got yours on the way. RO doubles, and somebody else had sent money in that theirs are waiting, but those things are on the way, and I confirmed that again this morning because, like I said, I was getting irritated. I'm impatient. No, you know what? I'm not. I'm very patient to a point, and then once my patience runs out, because I know how patient I can be. Like once my patience runs out, I'm like, you know what? If I'm tired of waiting, like we got a real big problem. Because I can be super patient. I be chilling. So, man, I'm repping in Cali next week. That's what's up. That's what's up, Kenneth. I'm actually going to Cali tomorrow. So, you know, maybe we'll bump heads or something. But anyway,
California's huge.
I ever told you a story about the first time I was in Texas. I was in like Wichita Falls, Texas or something. A lot of my people from out there, my uncle had like a barbecue, a smokehouse out there. Oh my God, it was the best barbecue I ever had. We were supposed to be working in the smokehouse all summer. Mm-hmm. I was eating in the smokehouse all summer, okay? I was banging in my Uncle Chief's like, you eating more than you working.
All the profits.
Yes, I am, Uncle Chief. This is fire. But anyway, while I'm down there, I meet some dude.
First lesson in business, man. You can't get high if you own
Can't get high if you own supply.
There's some things you got to learn from the block, brother.
Yeah, I was like 7, though. I didn't really know.
I was already on the block.
At 7, damn. So anyway, I meet somebody down there, and he's like, yeah, you know, y'all, he talking about my uncle. He like, that's your uncle, right? I'm like, yeah. He like, yeah, y'all down here from Chicago, right? I'm like, yeah. He like, you know Jason? And so I'm like, Jason Bogan? 'Cause I'm assuming he's talking about my cousins. My families are Bogans until my grandma married my grandfather, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where the Howards came from. But I'm like, Jason Bogan? And he like, I don't know his last name. I'm like, you talking about like my family? He like, no, I don't know if y'all family. Like, well, why you think I know? He like, he
random Jason.
He live in Chicago. I said,
yeah.
What?
I know Jason in Chicago.
He was dead serious.
I know.
He's a grown man. He's like 40 something.
Dates me to death.
He live in Chicago, and I'm like, now he's mad at me. Didn't you say y'all from Chicago? Man, if you don't get your stupid ass out of my face, like, what are you talking about right now, sir? Like, I thought because you know my uncle, you talking about my people. Yeah, it's my cousin. Now, I don't know if he a Bogan. I don't know his last name. Why you think I know him? You said y'all from Chicago. If you don't get out of my face, man, what the heck is wrong with you? But anyhow.
Yes, wow, man.
You was talking about, first of all, let me check in with bro for he, start playing some more random sounds. In the production studio doing randomness. One and only Ron Rilla is in there.
Whenever he feels like.
Working hard.
Is that what you calling that?
Hell yeah. I don't be knowing. I be having other tasks back here to complete.
What
For what?
What task do you have to complete?
For With of Media.
What task?
I'm editing audio. I'm
for who?
Creating playlists.
No.
For us. Who you doing?
That's your job. During this show, okay, you are running the board for this show. Your time to do edits for TT and whoever else you're doing this for, that's your job.
It is my job.
Okay. So what they have to do with you throwing sounds into I said what I said?
So I ain't back here not doing nothing.
Nobody even cares.
He doesn't get the concept.
He doesn't get it at all.
He doesn't get the concept.
He does
You said Ron back there not doing nothing.
I said whatever you're doing. I said whatever.
I'm running this shit.
Run me your money. We
Right.
need that. We need that buck.
What's wrong with you? So anyway, how you feeling, bro? You good?
I'm good.
I like that sweatshirt for real.
Thank you, man.
Let me see.
Yeah, that is hard, G.
Put it in the camera.
It's almost crew next season.
This is the best dress you've ever been.
Is that like Japanese?
That's dead.
Is that Japanese?
It's true.
Yeah.
Ron used to be matching orange, and he be whatever color he has, it runs through from the shoes up.
Yeah.
He's half West Sider.
Let me see. I need to find out if Gino is still in. I need to find out if
he's very much half West Sider.
I need to find out if Gino's still in here. First of all, but before I get to that is Japanese writing on your shirt.
Yeah.
Do you know what it says?
Hell no.
Stand up. Let me
like
see.
Little boys. That's what it says.
Let me see.
You get.
It's definitely fire, but it probably says like
I take it in the butt. That's what it says.
Right.
Nigga, you get.
It says me and Reese the Ruler like to hang out in alleys. I like the alley. I like the alley crap game with Reese the Ruler. Shout out to Reese the Ruler, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to We Code Wednesday tonight at 8:30.
Yeah, tonight I'm tuning in.
Yeah. See what kind of tomfoolery comes out of DJ's mouth this evening.
Sure,
something for sure.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah, you know, come out his mouth, go in his mouth. Who knows? Was that too far, Ron?
Yeah, I don't know what goes on We Code Wednesday, so I can't say what's fire and what's not fire.
You don't listen to We Go Wednesdays?
I've only caught it like 1 or 2 times.
Was you on the show one time? Because I was bothering you. I was harassing you.
I was in the comments.
Oh, okay.
You know, Ron be trying to be.
But that when
That's
I
after
took
hours.
over
Raw dog Ron.
I took over Ron's Facebook, and I was commenting as Ron. And
Right, I
he couldn't
remember
leave
in
off
there,
the
right?
show.
He was so mad.
He was super hot.
Oh no, that was the day he was in here.
Yeah.
What show was that?
What show was I on?
Because you was running the board for somebody, right?
Yeah, I was running.
I mean, you was running the switcher for somebody,
I think
not the
Magna.
board.
I think Magna.
Okay, you was running the switcher for Magda, and we was in there commenting on your
Because
account.
Reese was back here and 2 was back here.
And we read in the comments on you. You was so. I still got the pictures from that, bro.
He did, bro.
The picture I caught of you is the most salty face I've ever seen
I'm on
anybody
my-
have.
Because I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone trying to delete everything.
Yeah, and 2 just steady putting stuff in there, i.e. ass. Like all kind of stuff.
Crazy as shit.
Your face on that picture is priceless, bro. You was so salty, G.
Super salty.
All right, but on this ADOS thing, let me ask y'all before y'all get back to y'all conversation. 'Cause I got some mix. Like I was asking a dumb question or something. If you mix with ADOS and non-ADOS, should you still be eligible to receive those benefits?
What do you mean? So like
if they give
you got an ADOS parent,
right,
and then
if they decide
like
to
a
give us
Haitian parent or a white parent,
right? If they decide to give us reparations, and you just so happen to be mixed with ADOS and a white,
Yeah.
you know,
If you're a link in the chain, you gonna get some oil. Yeah, that's how it should work.
all right.
Yeah,
if you a link in the chain, you gonna get some oil.
It's not a dumb question.
I like that.
one chain, homie.
No, I don't think that's a dumb question. No, it's legit.
Yeah,
That was slick talk right there too.
you know I was on the block at 7. You know?
I was on the block at 7. I was on the block at 7.
What can I say? You know what I mean?
Anywho, before I went to break, we was talking about what's his name, Charlamagne the God and Lakeith Stanfield, and they into it for. Okay, so G is here. Hold on, before I hop into that, we talking about Ron and his attire.
How Gino was coordinated today.
G was coordinated head to toe today, right?
He probably had on some blue and rust socks.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know this match.
He's all cap. Like Gino is all cap today, right? First of all, he's Thuggery. Y'all saw. I don't know if you caught on the soil today. Hoodie, fire, right? But then he stands up. He's got on some fire, designer type Nike jogging pants. But they are the exact same color in his jogging pants that are on this hoodie. And it's not like black and white the same color. It's rust, like rust color, like some like copper type rust color, like a teal blue and black, right? That's what he got on. He's like, oh man, I didn't even know that match. I didn't even peep that I did that. It was a complete coincidence. A complete coincidence that you got on teal, rust, and black hoodie, and you got on teal, rust, and black sweatpants? Cut it out, man. Just accept the fact that you Thuggery and you wanted to be coordinated head to toe today.
I didn't know I was this fly, y'all. I didn't know I was that.
He was like, I didn't even notice this.
I didn't even notice
that.
How many teal and rust items do you have,
How
sir?
many teal and rust items do you have?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he out here. And he's standing on it, too. You know him. On me.
On me.
On me. I ain't know. All right, you ain't know, bro. Fuck it.
He said on me right now.
Yeah, look at it.
That's hilarious.
Hey, bro, you Thuggery as hell. That's all I know. You fresh as hell on accident. He even had on like some teal shoes. Like it was teal like in his shoes. He's capping right now. He's all cap right now, bro. Anyhow,
I pulled up one of these Lakeith videos, man, but I think it's the one we talked about early on.
Didn't Salim have Cam Howard on the show today?
Yep.
I missed it. I didn't catch it. I was doing too much running around today. After we did the truck stop delivery, I had to. My friend had water in her basement, so I went to help her get the water out of her basement. Once the snow melted, she had hella water just standing in her basement. Went to go help her get that out. Then I had to go get my hair cut. I haven't seen a single second on the network today, so I missed that
Gino
too.
putting it on my kids. Yeah, I gotta believe him.
Gino I believe him when he says on me. As soon as he said on me, I believe him. Right?
I'm just fresh on accident.
I woke up like this. Hear that?
I woke up like this. Nah, that's real. But I pulled up this Lakeith video, but there's been a history behind this Lakeith and Charlamagne the God feud. And some people say it started when Lakeith was on their show early on. I don't know what movie he did, but he said he was a rapper too, and he rapped. And you know how Charlamagne does. People like, "Oh no, man, homie, you're trash."
Yeah, that was that. Is this awkward movie? That he was the teller. He was supposed to be like some telecommunicator or something.
Mm-hmm. So he must have been rapping on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne was like, "No, man, keep acting, you huff," or whatever he said. You know what I mean? But in that, and I don't know if that's why Lakeith took it personal or not, but when he came out and said, you know, the Breakfast Club is a white supremacist.
Freddie Rock always called him Leonard. She don't never call him Charlamagne.
When he came out and said that the Breakfast Club is a white supremacist media outlet, he also named like 6 or 7 other black media outlets. So it wasn't like he singled them out.
Right.
He was like, the messaging that they're promoting
Right.
is in the vein of white supremacy.
Right.
That then Charlamagne doubles back and gives him the donkey of the day and, you know, all those kind of things, and ensues this feud.
Yeah, he was talking about Breakfast Club, he's talking about Shade Room, all them such things.
Right. So you get to, they got this back and forth feud going on. If now with the Black Panther movie that came out, you got Lakeith Sanford, not Lakeith Sanford, what's the other brother that won't actually play Fred? Whatever his name is. He's on the show, and Charlamagne at the end of the interview with that brother, they say, man, why did they choose Lakeith to play William O'Neal? And then Charlamagne makes a joke and says, because he was definitely born to play that role.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So now it's another thing coming up. That Lakeith.
So you trying to flip the whole thing around, and now he's the sellout for calling y'all, for basically saying that y'all doing the enemy's work.
Basically.
Which in many ways y'all are.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think it's really interesting, man. We've been getting flagged lately, so I can't play the Charlamagne Breakfast Club, you the donkey of the day conversation, which goes into how Charlamagne feels about it. But here's Lakeith, and this is the older response. But I think it'll add context, and it leads into how I kind of want to have this conversation.
All right, cool.
I'm finna pull it up now. You got me over there?
I got you, good sir. Well, maybe I'm lying. Hold on. No, I'm actually still on. Gino, man. But let's see if he got his clothes outlined in his computer. Something.
Clothes laid out on the bed for school tomorrow.
You used to do that?
Yes.
First day of school, like every day.
No, I was super fresh. I stayed Thuggery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me, bro.
Stayed.
I mean, I was fly. I had all the stuff, but I've just never been like. Clothes
I was on
like
the block at 7, so I had certain things that everybody didn't have. You understand what I'm saying?
I can dig it. First day of school, I always had everything, laid out. But after that, I ain't really care.
I got a pair of Jabot 360s, right? Now, why this is important is because this is the early 90s, right? And Jabot 360s cost something like $300, so a pair of pants.
Field trips, too, that's real.
Right? And nobody was spending $300 on a pair of pants back in the day like that.
Unless you was on the block at 7.
I got this illegally, but it wasn't from being on the block. You know what I'm saying? We had other means. But I was killing them. But let's go into this.
Come on, man.
It's the scope over black men and women, often highlighting negative attributes and downplaying mind-expanding ones. They serve as bottomless consumption pits and digital, audio, or otherwise slave mentality museums at all you want, end quote. I don't know what the hell Lakeith Stanfield is talking about, but
I know you don't know what I'm talking about, and that's clearly evidenced by a lot of stuff you said in this video, but I'm gonna let you keep going.
Know myself, Charlamagne the God, in the 9 years I've been on this Breakfast Club, I strive every day to be the perfect balance of ratchetness and righteousness, all right? There's not another show out there that goes from Byron Allen to Black Youngster like it's nothing, all right? You tell me a show where the guest list goes from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to 21 Savage. This show has gone from me talking about sucking farts out of women's asses to me encouraging brothers and sisters to go to therapy and investing them into wealth. You know why, Lakeith? Because that's life. And that's the way life works, okay? I'm not going to sit here and act like we've gotten it right all the time, because we haven't. We've made plenty of mistakes on this radio, plenty of things I've looked back on and said, yeah, we should have played that a certain way. And all that critique is fine. But Lakeith Stanfield, don't you ever fix your raggedy ass mouth to call the author of black privilege, because I truly believe it is a privilege to be black, anti-black, okay?
Okay, I'm going to try to get through this without using ad hominem attacks and silly little things about your own personal life, because I don't think that's really what we have to hear. We have to the issues and topics at hand. Now, you just illustrated that sometimes you bring good guests, sometimes you bring bad guests. And that's kind of what I hinted to in the subtext of what you just read. Basically, what I was saying is outlets like yours have a tendency to lean toward highlighting negative things. And that's true. And if you don't understand that we engaged in a war, that it's a war to be black in this bitch, that means if you ain't on the team moving things forward, then you against the goddamn team, period. So if y'all doing more of that bullshit, then that shit goes under the umbrella, which I will admit is a generalization, but the umbrella of anti-black. And that's what the fuck I'm talking about. We're going.
Ask all those white people who call up here every day complaining about me saying cracker, ass cracker, or mayonnaise, or asking me why everything gotta be black, all right? Ask them, okay, if I'm anti-black. Don't ever fix your mouth to call a brother like me anti-black, because, Young King, I know for a fact you don't take the chances that I do every day.
Okay, whatever the fuck that means. But also, I never called you personally anti-black, but I can see why out of everybody you might be the most offended one on the goddamn show. You know, but I never pointed you out. I said the platform as a whole, all three of y'all.
He's proud of that joke.
It's all right. That's exactly why you didn't call out any white media outlets, because your publicist, your agent, and those Hollywood executives you work for would have had a fit. You would never take that chance. See, as a black person, it's safe to go at black outlets like Shadem, World Star, The Galley, Breakfast Club, and many others, as you said, but you would never fix your mouth to say that.
Doesn't understand. That's what Joe Budden was trying to tell you. That's not a black outlet, sir. It's a white outlet. That's black employees.
On the outlets that I tend to frequent and the ones that are predominantly are dealing with what we consider the black thing. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that I'm really focusing in on, hunting on at this particular moment. But that don't mean that I don't critique others. You may not hear that, you may not see that, but I critique all kinds of things. It just happened to be that this was on the list and the menu today. To suggest that, you know, I'm not going against the other one. I mean, first of all, that's not my preoccupation, because I know what the fuck they gonna do, but I expect more from y'all.
Right, that ain't my business.
You up to a higher standard. You know, let me back the fuck off, because I hold you to a standard to not diminish your own people. You feel me? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That would affect you in Hollywood. So who's the real coward? Okay, who's really got the slave mentality? If it's easier to call out your own black people than it is to go into others, white folk. Lakeith is one of these folks who be on red carpets and they don't even speak to black outlets, okay? Walk right back.
Not fucking true. I don't know where you got that information, but not true.
Baller alert or gossip or Jasmine brand and go talk to E or people, as if those outlets don't report so-called negative stories, as if those outlets are any less messy, okay? Lakeith, I think it's hard to get the character Andre out of your spirit, because it sounds like you may still be in the sunken place, but I'm not about to go back and forth with you about this. I'm gonna simply say, when you are on any of these platforms, or even when you are on your own platforms like social media, how about be the change you want to see in the world? Don't give these platforms negativity to reinforce, because all we can do is provide the platform. The artists provide the content. There's been plenty of people who have sat in this room and elevated the conversation in this room,
Okay, we provide whatever the fuck you're talking about. That's a simple cop-out. That's not taking responsibility for the kinds of things that you conjure up. You can clearly control the dial on your medium because you've done it before when it was in your interest. But when it's not in your interest, you don't. When you're talking to certain people, you do certain things. When you're talking to other people, you do other things. That's why I said you have the tendency. I didn't say you do it all the time. I said you got the tendency because you do.
Vibration in this room. You said that these platforms highlight negative attributes and downplay mind-expanding ones, but when you get the opportunity to speak, do you do that, King? I remember when you came on the Breakfast Club and I asked you about the name of your group.
Okay, he's gonna bring it to Morris. But before we get to this Morris shit, the moment I walked into the Breakfast Club interview, it was very clear to me that I was dealing with three people that were interested in playing idiotic games with me and not getting down to talking about anything of any substance. And it was evidenced by that interview if you go back and look at it. I already knew who I was dealing with, so therefore I put the goddamn grill in my mouth and I acted accordingly, just like I do in many of my interviews, which we'll get to later. But I knew what I was dealing with, so why would I go into explaining to you what the Moors are and what it means to me when I know you ain't trying to hear that or listen to that any goddamn way? You don't give a fuck about what the Moors mean. You give more fuck about bringing up my goddamn record, which is what you proceeded to do. Again, messy bullshit, the kind of shit I'm talking about. But go ahead.
Group the Moors, that opportunity for you to teach, to tell us about the African conquerors of Spain, all right, to possibly tell us about Moorish civilization. But do you remember your answer? Now, the name of your group is the Moors. Would that be the original Moors, black Africans they threw the world? Fabric of the universe. Outside. Gotcha. Where was the mind expansion in that? Where was the mind expansion when you was on IG rapping lyrics with gay slurs? You remember that? Remember when he was letting the F word fly? Play that. Boy, you're dressed like trash. You an 8'6". Take that choke chain back. That's some gay shit. Only black rags in my cab like I'm racist. Bag, I don't really like the brag, but I'm straight.
Now you trying to cancel him because he said that?
Cool. And all these gay niggas mad because they hate you. Coming through swerving on a nigga like no, look, you know, I've said things that I regret.
Now, I admit that was insensitive, and I've since addressed it. And, you know, at the time, to me, it was really about wordplay and playing with an aspect of understanding that I don't actually hold, but I ain't going to go back into that because I've already talked about it. But, yeah, we've all said things that we address and look back to now and say, you know, I could do better and be better. That's all I'm asking everybody to do. Why are you getting all in your feelings about it? It's not personal. It's just a thing that's asking you to reflect and look at yourself and try to be better. I've had to do it. We all have to do it.
Use language I regret, so I would never be that kind of hypocrite, but I'm just playing that to remind you that you haven't always been this woke warrior you claim to be, okay? In fact, you apologize for that freestyle. You know why? Because you know Hollywood don't play that. They will blackball your black ass in a minute. They will cancel you so quick that the only outlets who would accept you and still embrace you
No, I apologize because that's how I genuinely felt. I'm not going to say some shit I don't feel. I apologize because I didn't want to offend people, but I didn't realize how much reach my social media had at the time. You know, sometimes it's kind of difficult to know how much reach you have, you know. So, yeah, that's why I apologize.
The black ones.
And also, the black ones embracing me when I'm down and out is bullshit. I mean, you don't even embrace me while I'm here sitting in front of you. You know what I mean? So let alone let me be in a down and compromised position. No, you won't embrace me. You'll do the very thing that you do, which is to try and trample on people. I don't know why that shit a little forte, but it is.
It's just so crazy to me. You talk crazy about black outlets, but when you come on the black outlets, it's not like you being this intellectual beacon light. Okay, he was on Breakfast Club talking about being sexually attracted to dogs. Remember that? I mean, you got a Snoop fan?
I ain't gonna lie, you funny though.
Like, looking at the Doggy Style album and being young and confused and not knowing whether I was sexually attracted to the dog or like what I should. I was like, yo, I'm starting to look at dogs weird.
So what I'm talking about is when I was a child and I saw the Doggy Style album, obviously, like that was designed to arouse some sexuality in people. It's not like I'm saying that I was literally attracted to dogs. And by the way, it's irrelevant to the argument anyway, so keep pushing.
It happens, but you go on Jimmy Kimmel and you're respectful. And you bring the white man flowers.
I was respectful to y'all too.
It really is. Thank you very much. It's a magic jacket. It's a Magic Johnson jacket, or it actually has magic powers? It brings things into third-dimensional space that weren't there before. It does? Yes, like flowers, for instance. Are you going to do a magic trick? Wow. Aw, took the flower off your jacket and just gave it to the white man. Lakeith, you was getting
Gave it to the white man. What the fuck does that have to do with him being white? Like, just because I give him... So if it was a black host that I gave the flower to, what would that mean? I don't understand. You know, you might have got a flower. Y'all, all three of y'all might have got a flower. Had you just been a little bit more cordial and, like, you know, decent to me, but you weren't. You know, like, I just gave a flower to a host of a show. It's not about him being white, so don't try to conflate that to fit your own narrative that you're trying to build, very weakly, by the way. Trying to build this narrative that I somehow pandered to white shit and I'm against black shit. Like, come on, chill, bro.
for that Netflix project Death Note, and you was on there barefoot while the white man was interviewing you, and you was sniffing your feet and licking your toes. This is a literal video. He was sniffing his feet and licking his toes.
I did not see that. That's disgusting.
That's weird.
Okay, so because I do some shit for a quirky role that I was playing, and I was playing an interview quirky as I played in your interview. And yeah, I lick my feet. I don't care. They my feet. I love them. There ain't no problem with it. I lick my feet. And you can be tolerant or intolerant to that. But again,
that's weird,
what
bro.
the hell does it have to do with
weird.
the topic at hand that we're talking about? Absolutely nothing. It's attempting to try to paint me in a light that's not credible because you got no real arguments. You haven't even addressed none of the arguments that I really talked about yet, other than trying to talk about your therapy book. Which I guess maybe you need to do a little bit more therapy so you have some clarity and insight into looking into yourself, man.
Seemingly political roles that have Atlanta, and he's on there sniffing his feet and licking his feet in front of the white man. But it's the black platforms that are the feeding grounds of negative reinforcement, okay? It's sniffing your feet and licking your toes, what you call non-conforming. I don't know what got into you yesterday, King, but watch your mouth.
Well, non-conforming would see the way that you responded to this, that's what I'm talking about. The way that you responded to me doing things that are in essence completely harmless and got nothing to do with nothing but like, whoa, that's like that. That type of shit is what I'm talking about. You have no space for things that you don't understand. Just because you ain't comfortable to be in your own skin and do what you do, literally and otherwise, be in your own skin, just because you ain't comfortable with that doesn't mean that I need not be comfortable with it. I can give white, black, blue, or otherwise men flowers and feel completely fine about it. I can lick my goddamn toes. I can suck my toes until this motherfucking salt up off of them and feel comfortable about that. You know, and I hope that everybody can feel comfortable with themselves to do what they want. You ain't got to do what I do, but I'm not going to be sitting back judging you for what you do all day either. That's what I mean. The no tolerance zone for anything you don't understand.
You calling a black man like me anti-black. And always remember, when you point a finger at someone else, point three back at yourself, because based on your logic and the things you put out there, you are just as much a problem as you claim us black media outlets are. But Lakeith, I wish you the best. This came from a place of love, and two takeaways I want to leave you with is one, be the change you.
So yeah, I just wanted to address a couple of them things. I just got off work, so I got a little bit of time, but it's just like, you know, you got to do a little bit better than that, man. Just be honest with yourself. You ain't got to be honest with me. You know what I mean? I don't really give a fuck like that. I'm just posting some shit on my Instagram, you know. But I'm sorry that you had to be offended by it. Hopefully, you know, you could kind of see the truth in it. I know I ain't always perfect on my critiques or all the way around, you know, but you know, I really mean the best. I mean good. I mean for everybody to just do a little bit better to, you know, siphon the kinds of things we put out about ourselves, you know. And that's really all I was trying to do. It may have been a little abrasive, but yeah, you know, I just wanted to address a couple of them things because that shit was crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna take my ass to bed.
Well, now, that is good brother.
Get a flag for that one, huh?
We did?
No. The next one coming up. I thought that was a Breakfast Club joint. It's not.
That was the good brother Lakeith Stanfield choosing to address the good brother Charlamagne the God, or Leonard, or Leonard, as Ready Rock exclusively refers to him as. I don't know about the licking the feet part. Everything else, I was with him. He made rational, logical. He had a logical response to everything that Charlamagne was saying, and Charlamagne was just like reaching for stuff, like for no reason at all, like just reaching for stuff.
But it is a reason.
He felt offended and attacked on his whiteness.
He felt offended and attacked for sure, but it's also about what us as an audience responds to, right? Which is why the Shade Room, World Star, Breakfast Club, Gossip, and Baller Alert exist.
Chicago Media Takeout.
That's why they exist, right? So when Lakeith challenges him on depth, the vast majority of that audience can't even hear that because they're operating on the frequency of shallowness. You know what I mean? So Lakeith was right in regards to challenge the conversation, right? That is a white supremacist kind of philosophy in which they portray out there. In a lot of ways, we mimic the Breakfast Club in a lot of ways, right? Because we can be ratchet too, right? We got a damn song on here that we played that talks about putting coke in your pee hole.
Hey,
you understand what I'm saying? But also
it's a remedy.
But also to the point of that Lakeith was making, and what scares me about Charlamagne, and to the point of Joe Budden's the other day, your voice is too loud to be that ignorant, right? So even if you're going to be ratchet and righteous, which I think is necessary, right? I think as above, so below, that needs to be balanced at all times, right? I could talk about the block because I've had experiences on the block, but I can also talk about the boardroom because I've had experiences in the boardroom.
Word.
You understand me? I've read more books than most of the teachers you know.
Word.
Right?
Very much.
And I'm not,
word.
that's not no arrogant shit,
That's
but it
the
gives
fact.
me a level of, I don't know, a level of reach, right? I communicate with everybody. At least I try to be able to communicate with everybody. But I'm also fluid in learning, right? I want to learn more. Teach me something I can learn, right? And the cats on the block can still teach me some shit, and I'm well aware of that. You know what I mean? And I'm open and fluid to understanding and learning those things. But what scares me about a person like Charlemagne specifically, and it's really not even just Charlemagne, it's those kind of a platform specifically. But Charlemagne is an interesting study in this sense. He has friends that are on other platforms that kind of validate his opinions in regards to conversations that he really doesn't know anything about. Angela Rye has become a celebrity on CNN. I rock with Nina Turner. I think Nina Turner's brilliant. She's one of his people. You know what I mean? Tesla Ferraro, I think her last name is. I rock with Tesla. I think she's brilliant, right? But then you get Charlemagne on regurgitating information that he's heard from them that he's not really fully understanding of, and he speaks about shit that he doesn't really know anything about. But it validates him in the conversation. And that's to Joe Budden's point, is that your voice being that loud and you being that ignorant is dangerous. But at the same time, I'd be lying if I said at some levels I didn't respect his gumption. You know what I mean? Because he will say some shit to somebody to stop them in their tracks, where a lot of people won't even say that shit. You know, so it's like we had, and again, going back to the concept and construct of balance, right? Charlemagne becomes probably, if we being honest, one of the leading black male voices in media.
Yeah.
Right? And there's nothing there to challenge or balance that voice.
Right.
Right? He becomes the preeminent conversation.
And then it's another reason it becomes difficult to challenge is because it's not anchored in anything, right? And so I think therein lies where I would find the biggest difference between I Say What I Said, Breakfast Club. Yes, we like to have fun too. Yes, we're always talking about not only having a well-rounded show, but just being well-rounded individuals. I am equal parts intellect and ratricity. Like you know what I'm saying? It's intellectual thuggery at its finest. Right?
What is this?
I put that camera on. Does that work for you?
Nah, that's horrible.
Okay, well, we're going to leave it there because I got the control over here. You want to come over here?
Yeah, I'll change it.
Okay, change it then.
I don't know.
I'll wait.
Terrible. It don't make sense to me.
I'll wait.
I'm listening. Oh, you think I'm going to come over there? Oh, that was?
So the difference then becomes the fact that our show is anchored in something, right? It's anchored in blackness. And so wherever the conversation goes, right, it's anchored in that blackness. I don't care how ratchet the conversation is. It's anchored in that blackness, which then holds us accountable to something, right? And so if the conversation gets outside of blackness, right, and it's not anything that is, you know, in some way productive or constructive for black folks, then you got the right to call us out and say, nah, now y'all out of bounds, right? There is no out of bounds for the Breakfast Club because they aren't anchored in anything. They're only anchored in how many people watch the Breakfast Club today. What kind of numbers did we put up for iHeartRadio today? So iHeartRadio can keep cutting my check. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's not anchored in anything else, right? If it was, you would not go from, you know, Minister Farrakhan to whoever the hell. You know what I mean?
And it's about how, though.
That's what I'm saying. The way you go about making that
Right.
it's not anchored in anything. So even if we were to talk to all those same people, which we are certainly open to doing, right? Like we can talk to Black Youngster and we can talk to the minister too, right? Both of those conversations, however differently they may be presented, are going to be anchored in the same shit.
Absolutely.
Breakfast Club ain't anchored in nothing, and that's where the biggest difference lies between what we do and what they're doing.
I agree. But the danger of it is that he becomes the. I mean, think about this, man. We got presidential elects coming to their show.
Yeah, because you got to go find these people that are tuned in. There are a lot of people on that frequency, bro. You got to go talk to them.
But where's the black male voice specifically? Because since we specifically talking about Charlemagne, where's the black male voice that can anchor in the ignorance of Charlemagne into a real viable conversation in that kind of a spectrum, in that media platform? Like, where's the, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a past black man who kind of would bring some validity to that conversation. And maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe Charlemagne's first in this space. But if you're going to be having conversations with, what's my man's name, Kodak Black or whoever you just said?
Yeah.
Black youngster, whomever. And
that's who I really wanted to say. I just couldn't think of his name. Kodak Black.
And Joe Biden. Cool.
For some reason in my head, he's the poster of like the most ignorant thing you could be. Every time I'm thinking like, what's the most ratchet, like an image of Kodak Black just pops into my head.
Yeah, but and I'm with it. I'm with you having those conversations. But you cannot be anchored in ignorance. You can be anchored in ignorance talking to Kodak Black because it's kind of an entertainment moment. You cannot be anchored in ignorance and being propelled as the voice of the black community when talking to Joe Biden or when talking to Kamala Harris. You got to be able to challenge them in a way with not just, comical shit, but with information.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you get challenged, because that's what was happening there, you just got challenged. You got to be able to stand in front of that challenge, or you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I really doing what I think I'm doing?
All right.
And that's what Joe Budden was challenging them too. You talk all this shit. I went to look for Charlemagne's station yesterday after the show. I went and looked, right? It's iHeart logo on the page. I don't see Charlemagne's logo on the page. Not on the banner. It's iHeart's logo on the banner. This is iHeart shit. But then you're propelling a message of I own XYZ. You propel a message of I'm this black intellect. You propel a message of things that are just not true. And if they are true, you got to show up in a different kind of manner.
That Lakeith is attacking black platforms. No, he's not. Like, iHeartRadio is not a black platform. Y'all are black employees at iHeartRadio. Got it, right? That ain't a black platform. He's not attacking the black platform at all. Saying what y'all doing over there at iHeartRadio. Same point that Joe Budden was making to you, sir.
And I don't even want it to just be harped on Charlemagne, because I watched another clip that we probably can't show. I can't even find it, really. I thought I sent it to you earlier, but it was Killer Mike on that same show. And to be honest with you, the worst offender on that show to me is DJ Envy. I absolutely can't stand that dude. You know what I mean? Because where Charlemagne lacks in information, he makes up for in gumption, and I can respect that. Envy is dumb and weak. That bothers me.
He's weaker than dumb.
Huh?
He's weaker than dumb.
Yeah, I would go. I think. Well, I don't know. I think it's a tie. I don't know.
It's equally dumb and weak.
Yeah, it's equal for me. But I was watching the conversation between him and Killer Mike, and because Envy doesn't, because Charlemagne is kind of the A Mike, he's the staple that he talks the most. Envy gets away with just kind of being in the room, but Killer Mike was, because that's Killer Mike's platform. Like, we got to stand on what it means to be black. Just has value to me. Yeah, Killer Mike is Killer Mike. And Killer Mike challenged Envy. He was really not even challenging Envy. He was challenging black people who send their children to private school, right? While negating the public schools in their community. I'm hands up. I send my kids to private school. But he has a valid argument in the argument that he was making. You know what I mean? And I fully respect it and I fully understand it. But what happens with somebody like Envy, he hears that and it becomes a personal attack.
Right.
And you could tell the energy in the room change, it becomes a personal attack. And then you don't get invited up there no more. So just because you hear stuff like all of the people that Envy's banned from the studio for whatever reasons they are.
Right.
But it's like, again, they still are becoming, or are maybe, the anchoring or the launch spot for black conversations in America. And that can't be when there's nothing to balance that out. Because you can't get too ignorant or too weak people to have that conversation and be the lead off spots.
That's real.
Right? You like, again, just to recite or to quote Joe Budden's, your voice is way too loud for you to be as ignorant as you seem.
Yeah, you don't have that luxury. You don't have that freedom to just be that kind of ignorant right now. Your voice amplifies too much. Too many people are hearing your voice. Too many would be important conversations are happening on your show for you to pop off the way you pop off about nothing, right? Like it's like you said, you got presidential candidates coming, you got politicians that want to come there, all kinds of entrepreneurs and influencers who come there to get to spread their message.
But they come there and leverage that shit.
Exactly.
They know they can.
Exactly.
Right? But it's just like Herschel Walker being in the HR 40 conversation when there are powerful black voices that have been attached to HR 40 for years, and you in there talking to Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
You understand? That's a game that gets played, and we become subject. We become victims to that game.
Yeah.
Right? Ain't no way in the world Herschel Walker should be in a conversation about HR 40.
Yeah.
If you ain't telling me how to run the football, dog, I ain't trying to hit.
Right. You don't know, fam. That's the only thing you're an expert on, to my knowledge.
Unless you didn't wrote a book after football. Or
only thing he's an expert on, to my knowledge, is
done some research around
toting the
reparations. And if you don't got that, then why are you in the conversation about reparations? Do you just being black validate you enough to have a conversation about reparations?
Mm-hmm.
At the political level, at Congress, man, if you don't get out of here.
Yeah, no, that's real. I think that you just see him do stuff that like black youngster comes in there and counts $200K on the table during the interview. Fam, you're not coming here and doing that, fam. You're not about to do that here. Like, I don't care what point you're trying to prove, what message you're trying to see. I don't care who says you don't got no money. You're not coming up here to count $200K on this table for this interview. Get that crap out of here, fam. We're not doing that here.
But see,
you want to leave? Peace.
Again,
we're not finna do that.
It's also how we,
because one, we understand the real numbers. You don't got no money for real, bro. Two,
he the big fish in our pond, though.
Exactly, but because you're a big fish in the little pond, you trying to come and shit on all other fish. We don't shit on fish around here, fam. That's not what we're doing. You go prove yourself somewhere else, fam. Shout out to you and all of your success coming up from the streets of South Memphis, and now you are a millionaire. I salute it. I respect it, my brother. You're not finna come up here and count your 200 G's on this table. Get your ass on. Like, you want to have a conversation or no? But they, like you said, they leveraged that show for a reason.
So Deborah Wilson says, I think that his purpose is the purpose of Charlamagne the God, and politicians and policy people can say they talk to the black ADOS community. I missed it. But yeah, that's exactly how they leverage him, right? He becomes the conversation spot. He becomes where I stopped and had a conversation to black people. You know what I mean? And because he's not equipped enough to have that conversation in an intellectual manner, we're left with a gap in how we communicate with those people, with those political leaders, right? So Q puts together the program for Black America, whatever he titled it, and he goes out and he tries to address the Biden campaign and the Republican Party, which was the only intelligent thing to do, right? And he gets shunned as a coon. Charlamagne is kind of being heralded as one of the most powerful black voices. Like, if we're being honest, he's being heralded as a powerful black voice. And what Lakeith was saying was, no, my brother, you're a coon. And I think he's justified in saying that.
Yeah.
Because you do and say a lot of coon stuff. Now, I think, this is just me. I don't know for sure. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think his heart is in the right place. I think his mind has to catch up with his heart.
Who?
You don't have
Charlamagne?
the information. Yeah,
I agree.
I do. I just think he doesn't have the information. But in that vein, though.
But he's finding success in the ignorance.
He's finding success.
And so when you find success, it kind of serves as a false positive. You know what I mean? Like, that success serves as a false positive. I must be doing something right. Right? This thing I'm doing must be going well because now I am a desired speaker all across the country. You know what I'm saying? I saw him speak, maybe, I don't know, it had to be 19. I guess it wasn't last year. It had to be in 19. He came, I forgot the name of the church over there on like 51st, something like that, over there off of Michigan or whatever. But anyway, something is telling him that what he's doing is right. And it's his celebrity and it's his bank account that's telling him that this is the right thing that I'm doing. I get it.
And he's being heralded by the community because
that's what I'm saying.
We don't know no better.
That's what I'm saying. As my star continues to grow and more people want me to come and speak, right? My voice, what I'm saying must be right. It's resonating with so many people, right? Resonating with not a lot of people don't mean it's right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things resonate with a lot of people. That don't make it right.
Yeah, I agree. But we got to start turning the channel, or somebody got to start.
Mythical Sky Daddy resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah,
that don't make it true. No, that's not to say I don't believe in Mythical Sky Daddy, because I do.
Well, you like Mythical Sky Daddy a lot. So it's like you're coming over to the dark side. You say it more than me.
No, I love it. Funny Trump's offensive for me all the time.
Okay, well,
that's just a standard rule I live by. Funny Trump's offensive. You can say something that's offensive to me as long as it's funny, and I can roll with it.
Yeah, but I do think I think his heart is in the right place. I think differently about DJ Envy though.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a pure capitalist, and I think he's a coon. That's my personal opinion. But again, his voice is too loud to be wrapped in so much ignorance. You know what I mean? And in order to be righteous and ratchet, right? In order to have both of those conversations and in order to move smoothly and seamlessly through those two genres or through those two energies, you can't be stupid.
No.
You can't be. Because they're going to call you on your ratchet shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's an easy call out.
That's easy.
You know what I mean?
It's easy.
So you at least got to have the backing of the intellect to have the intellectual conversation in the way that they can't pull your card because of the ratchetness.
Right. But if what they want is the ratchetness, right? If you serving that purpose for them, they don't have no reason to call you on the carpet. You know what I'm saying? So, it's you talk about reading so many books, and you are one of the more well-read people that I know, which leads to information, right? That by the transitive property, you then become one of the most informed people that I know. You know what I mean? And so, you're able to withstand challenges to your philosophy. Not necessarily to say, oh, I'm right, wrong, but I can articulate my stance on this particular issue. Whereas if it ain't wrapped in no information, now it just turns into a shouting match. Now we're just arguing. And I ain't arguing with you, right? Wise man told me don't argue with fools. People from a distance can't tell who is who. You know what I'm saying?
And the wise man told you, I only debate with my equals. Everybody else I teach.
Everybody else I teach. His name is Toussaint Werner. My name is Howard.
I stole that one, but it's still mine. When I stole it, I took it for bad, for good. It's mine now.
Consider it cuffed. That's what you say when I was a shorty. Consider it cuffed.
GD, it's mine now, punk.
Yeah, consider it cuffed, fam. Like, no, I was sitting, that was my chair. Consider it cuffed, fam. It's not your chair. Right? Like, consider it cuffed. That's it.
Hey man, we got along the lines of the earlier conversation about xenophobia.
It's 4:54 and the sun's still out.
And the ADOS conversation. The homie Nicole sent us a video. I don't know how long it is.
Shout out to IzWiz OG Nicole Rogers. I don't be talking to Nicole that much in here, man. She don't be popping off.
She be in here.
I be seeing her all the time, but she always here. She been here since day one. She's an IzWiz OG for real.
Yeah, she be in here for sure, man. But I wanted to see if we could rock this out before we go.
All right.
And
what have you? So every, other week or so when I check my Facebook inbox, when it finally be like 9++, and I be like, okay, let me just see. And then I see like people be sending me dope stuff. Like Howard send dope stuff all the time. Then I see it like 5 minutes for the show and I don't have a chance to like send it to you or have a conversation about it. So I got to start checking those things more because the fam be sending through dope stuff for us to chop it up about. Matter of fact, our Ready Rock, so I didn't know what it was you was pulling up, and I just looked. And I'm like, somebody just popped in on the guest line. And I looked up. I'm like, it's Godfrey. Why is Godfrey just popping in on the guest line on the show? But I see you. Go ahead.
Okay, we going. That's Lil Ron's fault.
I'm kind of embarrassed
because he's doing so much.
What's up, everybody? I'm kind of embarrassed. As a Nigerian American, I am very embarrassed. And you know us Nigerians. If you guys have gone to school with them, dated them, or whatever, we are very proud, the men and women. You can't tell Nigerian shit. We be like, listen, we are the best. We are the best. In school, in athletics, in entertainment, we are the best, so you cannot beat us. We're very proud. But I'm embarrassed, man. I'm embarrassed. I don't know if you know this guy right here. You see this smiley face coon right here? Yeah, this is Austin Chenge, running for GOP in Michigan. Let me tell you what this motherfucker said. He said he plans to end Black History Month. This motherfucker, smiling. I wonder what this conversation is like.
Look at that smile.
Oh man, I agree with you. We need to end Black History Month.
Yeah,
I love white people. White people are my favorite. I love them. We should have White History Month all the goddamn time.
You can't organically smile that hard.
Lips. That's from me kissing so much white ass. I love white folks. Look at my haircut. My motherfucking hairline is receding because I love white folk.
Let me tell you something. The reason why immigrants can come to America is because of the accomplishments and the blood, sweat, and tears of African Americans. All right? African Americans are the reason why Koreans, Arabs, Chinese can open businesses in black neighborhoods and treat them like shit and still make money off of them. Holy shit! You know what I mean? I'm not saying that all business owners are like that, but a lot of them do that. And it's because of African American sweat and labor that everybody can get a business loan and black people can't, which is fucking insane to me. The reason why my parents were able to come to America and make a life for themselves, because of African Americans. Get rid of Black History Month? First of all, it's an insult to Carter G. Woodson. All right? Carter G. Woodson, who's the father of Black History Month, it was Black History Week. And then my buddy, Nasser Metcalf, shout out to my boy Nasser Metcalf, his grandfather, Ralph Metcalf, was the catalyst to pushing for Black History Month. February, shortest month, they did it on purpose, but whatever. You understand? So the accomplishments of all these amazing black heroes to give us some pride, and this motherfucker who is actually embarrassing himself by saying that. The reason why you can run for GOP, asshole, is because of African Americans, and you want to shut it down. I'm getting fucking sick of Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos, and Africans shitting on African Americans, but want to benefit from all of their fucking hard work. I'm getting tired of this shit, man. You got some actors that shit on African Americans, but they want to play African Americans. I'm not calling anybody out, but some of them have done that. You want to play African American heroes while you shit on African Americans. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm saying that shit. You understand? This motherfucker right here. American culture, most of it is black. The accomplishments, the inventions are black, right? But a lot of people hide it. They fucking hide it and try to act like it's theirs. I'm so fucking sick of this shit, man. You understand? And let me tell you something. Austin Chenge, you guys look this fucker up. You want to end black history. No. What we're going to do is we're going to end your black ass. Because you ain't going to end shit and you ain't going to win, bitch. All right? You're the next contestant on the Cream of Wheat box, motherfucker. You can leave your comments. And if you're black and you don't agree with me, Aunt Jemima just left her position and you're up next.
That is the outspoken comedian, Godfrey.
From the crib.
Chicago.
From the crib. So I know we got to go to break. So let's discuss that when we double back.
We will discuss that when we double back. Y'all heard the man. I said what I said till 6. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
This is Tori Muhammad, and we want you to tune in to the Tori Muhammad Show that airs here on What's in It for the Black People Media every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We talk and celebrate Black-owned businesses, Black entrepreneurs, and we talk to some of the best people in the food industry here in Chicago, Black chefs, Black restaurateurs. So make sure that you tune in to us every Monday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
We out west with it, where we live illegal, leaning off a leader, riding regal, tipping scales like Libras. Inhale, no L's, pulling out blocks like Jenga. In the rear of a Caprice's milligrams, finna get decent nonetheless. Nothing less than tens for the speakers. You'll hear us before you see us with beats that beat the streets up. Yeah. So try and keep up and keep it low key, cuz police try and treat us and keep us on a leash, cuz that's how they see us, thinking we nuts. Cuz we'll die for the ground beneath us, because this land made us, this land made of players that stay on paper. That's how we came up amongst the mayhem to the day.
Hey, Toon, let me test your work. Hey, Herb, let me test your work.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy, so even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Let me test your work. Boss, you the boss? Let me test your work. Cheesy, you talking breezy? Let me test your work. Cam, you the man? Let me test your work. Dre and Snoop, like that chronic, I need something stronger. Molly cute, that's like an aspirin for my daughter. Big time, in the club with a case of Ace, and I sniff that whole table. Scarface, another court case. I'm a frequent offender. Where Wyclef was hot, I was gone to November. 6 years, hard time. Bobby was fucking up, Whitney could've been mine. We would've been so high and so in love. When Amy Winehouse died, I could've saved her. I could've smoked like half of that. She wouldn't have had to go in cardiac arrest. Hands up under her dress. Lindsay Lohan her mess, but I still cope above her breast. I must confess, I heard from a little birdie. Bring some crystal meth, you can get that from Fergie. Had a real nice dream, me and Charlie Sheen. Few Playboy bras, I was high in Rob Ford. Brick after brick, like Shaq at the free throw. I stayed hard, I put coke in my pee hole. You bout that life? I'm bout that life. You ain't really bout that life. If you really bout that life, 50, get with me. Let me test your work. T.I., I'm trying to get high. Let me test your work. Birdman, I hear you, man. Let me test your work. Brick Squad, I like it hard. Let me test your work. I want that shit that made Britney shave her head. I want that shit made DMX say he a fed. I want that shit that had Amanda Bonds tweaking. I want that shit Lance Armstrong but when it condemn me, keep trying to play me like I'm a loser. Biggest sales first week, Robert Downey Jr. I remember even Oprah got high. You thought I forgot? I remember D'Angelo was Diesel. Lamar Odom, that's my people. Drew Barrymore, she liked it raw. Me, I liked it cooked with Armor Hammer on it. One time, can't lie, was Keith Ledger high. But on that Samuel L. Jackson, that crack high. You bout that life? I'm bout that life. You ain't really bout that life. If you really bout that life, then turn up. Meek Mills, keep it real, let me test your word. Joey Crack, where it's at, let me test your word. Coke boys, I hear that noise, let me test your word. Raekwon, chef me up something, let me test your word. RP, ODB, we would've got along. Would've probably been my feature on this very song. I can handle with Michael Jackson, no deed on. For a dime, Jaheim'll sing you a whole song. I had that nigga singing Old McDonald. I'ma do the same thing to Jodeci tomorrow. Son and Wayne said they homies still got the D. So when I hit your town, nigga, introduce me. You know Randy Jackson from American Idol. Well, his daughter's a prom fiend, she got the title. Michael Douglas' son, best boofer I know.
What is up? What is happening? In the words of the good brother Gino, what did down finnos? What did down finnos, man? Peace to the guy, Eugene McIntosh, the sweater god, the match god, the god of all things coordination. Eugene McIntosh, one half of the bigs. Touchdown on the soil to have your clothes match like a Hollywood. He gonna be mad. He gonna foul me. Anyhow, this is I Said What I Said. We are live. We are inside the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us here on this balmy. Is balmy like warm or is that cold?
Shit, I don't know.
Balmy is like warm, right?
I've never heard that word before.
There's a lot of words you ain't never heard. Okay.
It's nice out there though. It's almost bike weather.
There's a lot of things you don't get.
It's supposed to be 50 on Saturday.
Like pussy and respect.
I'm definitely breaking out the Bentley on Saturday. And don't say that about little bro. Bro be getting behind the green door. You went behind the green door, you answered that phone call again, she called you back?
I'm not answering no more phone
Stop
calls.
lying.
You ain't talked to her since she stood you up?
No, I'm done.
Has she called you?
Nope.
Thanks for keeping it a buck.
She done too, obviously.
Obviously.
Thanks for keeping it a buck, man. I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, she be blowing my phone up. But we know you the answer. We know.
I wouldn't answer though.
That's cap. Hey, speaking of, no, I don't think that those are two things Ron don't get. That's one of my favorite lines from the what is it? How high? Some dude told Redman, he's like, I don't get it. He's like, it's a lot of things you don't get, like pussy and respect. But anyhow, did you hear about? I mean, of course you heard. Well, maybe you haven't heard. Let me talk to Lil Ron on this. Let me pop Ron back on the screen.
He done counted me out already.
There's just certain things I don't even know why I address to you. Ron, how you feel about Bobby Shmurda getting out and coming home?
My nigga free.
He's your nigga, that.
You're a coon, Ron.
Bobby Shmurda.
You're cool. And you're a sellout. And what they used to call Ice Cube when he deflected from NWA. What's Cube's real name?
I don't know. Somebody. What's Ice Cube's real name? Yeah, what's his son's name? They got the same name.
Yeah, whatever that was. Whatever that name.
It was like a female name, ain't it?
I don't know. There's a
basically
you got
it was a name
three
for
computers
a
in there.
Confederate.
Can you tell us what Ice Cube's name is?
It was a name for being a Confederate. Ah, he's a jerk.
What's wrong with him, man? Like,
I almost said something to you.
What was you gonna say? You might as well let it. O'Shea Jackson. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, but
see, that's why Phil be on your ass.
Female, some female.
I forgot what they used to call him, but the reason I said that though is because Bobby Shmurda stole his whole style from Parkway Gardens.
From Parkway Gardens.
Yeah. He's that bothers me too, right? So think about drill music. Like they calling it New York drill.
Okay.
Right? But Bobby, how long was he like? He was locked up for
like
a
7
while.
years.
He been locked up for that long?
I think that was his term.
2014.
Yeah, that was his term, and so he did, 5 and some change or 6 and some change.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah.
But what bothered me, and this is important, because had not he got locked up, Chicago wouldn't have ownership of drill music the way that they do. And it would have been a lot less successes from Chicago in regards to drill music too. One of the things about that industry specifically, and this is all industries, and it goes back to the same conversation we were just having about Envy and Charlemagne being able to push and move culture, right? If you know anything about the record industry for real, you know that the vast majority of people in the decision making processes of the record industry really don't like dealing with people from Chicago, right? Because that shit is all smoke and mirrors. And the one thing about Chicago is that we really believe that shit. Like we buy into that gangster shit, right? So when they deal with Chicago people, they really don't want to deal with them because there's consequences to how they plan on doing you dirty. Yeah, because that's the goal. They plan on doing you dirty. You know what I mean? And usually with the history of Chicago people, there's going to be a response to getting done dirty, right? Whereas the other places, it's not the same kind of energy. So if he's been gone 6 years, basically 6 years. If y'all think about Bobby when he first dropped, right? That drill music that Bobby was making, which was just mimicking Chicago cats, was excelling past the stuff that was coming out of Chicago. And if they was able to keep that up, they would have let go of all them little Chicago rappers and let the rest of the people who was mimicking them become the staples of that industry. Think about how popular Bobby is right now with what? He had 2 songs?
Yeah, he had
about a week ago.
2 songs, 5-time platinum.
I don't care about all that, but
yeah, 2 songs.
2 songs. You know what I mean? But think about how viable he is. Think about how many other drill artists that don't have 2 songs or did have 2 songs that don't have the kind of stand power as Bobby Shmurda.
But did they have a dance though?
It don't. I don't.
It's
think
the Bobby Shmurda dance.
What, man? I don't think it matters. I think it is what it is like who can they control?
Pop Smoke he took that style too. He called it New York drill. What Pop Smoke was
I
doing.
agree.
About a week ago.
I agree, but all of them, they all worth more money dead. You understand what I'm saying? So it's okay. That's more viable for me, right? But again, there's a different energy with young Chicago dudes. We ain't got a lot of home training, man. I we're not in close quarters with industry. Like just as black youth in Chicago in general, right? You don't walk down the street and see business owners. Yeah, there ain't no local nothing. It's all chain stuff. So you don't see the people who own that shit. You don't know how to engage with that. There's a level of ignorance that permeates in our community because of how left out of the fold we are. And then you think about that other criminal energy that kind of is umbrellaed in the idea, or at least the symbol of Chicago, right? And you go to New York, and here's a little dude who, although the streets of New York are not like the streets of Chicago. The streets anywhere ain't like the streets of Chicago. Be clear about that. Like even in the penal system, the only people that them people are scared of is people from Chicago and people from DC. Be clear about that, right? Even in the penal system, like all that New York, get your goof out. You know, it ain't real like that. But if you go to DC, there's a certain kind of energy that permeates in DC, and I mean DC, right? It's them little dudes different. You know what I mean? And Chicago different. It's true. I got a close family member who's made a lot of money as a producer in the music industry. I ain't gonna say no name.
Absolutely.
Right? Let me say extended family member. Let me say that. Right? And I ain't even talking about the one I know you thinking I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you were until you said extended.
No. Yeah. But this dude basically produced the entire Destiny Child first album. Okay. Then he was doing stuff like movie scores, like Shark Tale, Disney. I mean, big money stuff. You know what I mean? For 5-10 years of trying to get on, nobody would give him a meeting because he was leveraging Chicago, like where he was from. But in reality, he's from like the outskirts, like Kankakee, right? But because of the fear attached to what he would have had to been anchored to in Chicago, nobody would take a meeting with the dude. The minute he started being honest, like, hey, I'm from Kankakee, the doors flew open. Because they knew they could do what they wanted to do. You know what I mean? It's a different energy. It's a different energy, man.
Every time I get on Clubhouse and, people ask, like, where y'all from? Chicago. You from 63rd or 64th and 65th? Every single time. Like somebody yells that out. And it's like, okay, I get it.
That's the energy from drill. But this has been a moniker since forever.
No, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying about like that the Chicago thing and the mistake that comes like how it is. All right, I got a video that I posted on Instagram for one of them things. It was like a hashtag like post a video that you can't explain or something like that for a video that don't make no sense. And I just got this video from actually one of the music fests I was at out in LA. And this random dude just come up to me and my partner and he's just talking. I'm like, bro, what are you saying? He's like, where y'all from? I'm like, Chicago. Like, oh, bro, it's real out there. He's like high and tweaking. I'm like, anyway, stupid video. But he was just like, Chicago. I'm like, man, first of all, like it's a whole lot of love in my city, fam. Like I'm not like all that stuff y'all hear about is true. You can come here and everything can happen to your ass, but you more likely come here and just have a really, really good time. Like relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, but bad news travels faster than good news.
But we different though.
Yeah.
We different, right? And until you experience them other places, you don't recognize how different we are.
Yeah, I mean I benefit from the Chicago thing. You know what I'm saying? When I'm other places. I accept the respect that comes with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't know me from Chicago. They act a certain way. They just do.
No, I get it. They should, though, because we're different. We don't recognize how different we are because we are in the water.
In the water, right. You don't know.
We're different, bro. It's different.
Yeah.
Like all that woofing back, that's other places. I even listen, the minute it's on.
Yeah, we don't go back. Like, we ain't finna do that.
If I'm threatened in any manner, it's a problem.
It's cracking.
It's a problem, and that's not natural in other places. It don't move like that. It's a whole lot of TV shit going on.
Yeah, it's usually like you hear like an argument before it pop off. Here when it pop off, it pop off because you heard somebody get smacked with a bottle or something. And you see people like scurrying, like, oh, it popped off, huh? You never heard nobody. Who was you talking to? I beat you.
It's a different energy.
I'm gonna show you.
Hear is, stop talking to me.
Huh?
The most you'll hear is somebody say, stop talking to me.
Like stop.
Once they say stop talking to me, you better stop talking to me.
Move around.
Yeah,
like we're not really here for that. Like
it's a different energy.
Yeah, we just move different. It's like I was trying to tell you that story last week. When dude was popping off outside the van, I'm like, hey bro, just be quiet. Take your drunk ass home. He didn't. It didn't end well. But we're not going to talk about it though. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's different.
Yeah, it's a different thing. And I think even us though, we move that way because we understand everybody else moves that way. Right?
We move that way out of fear.
That's what I'm saying. I
ain't waiting for you to fuck me.
Right. I'm not finna pop off and you found me. I'm found on you, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you the chance to pop off first. And they teach you pop off first, you keep popping. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't hit him and then wait and see how he gonna take it.
But that also speaks to how vulnerable our lives are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And even to the concept about this stuff I was just talking about with the Bobby Shmurda thing, and them being afraid to deal with Chicago people because they usually are attached to that criminal element. And again, there's a level of ignorance attached to us because we've not been exposed to certain things. And I'm not saying this in a proud way. It just kind of is. It's the dynamic.
It's the reality.
Right? It's the repercussions of being born in the ADO's capital of America. Mm-hmm. It really is. And understanding the wealth deficiencies that's attached to. Mm-hmm. Right? So New York is a metropolitan area, although Chicago is a metropolitan area too. The way industry works in New York is very different than the way industry works in Chicago. Chicago, even though it's a major metropolitan city, when you start to break down the south side and the west side, them shits look like forgotten southern states.
Yeah.
There's no industry there.
Yeah.
Right? And when there's no industry there, it's hard to maintain life there.
Yeah.
Right? So what you get is all this underworld shit. Mm-hmm. Because people still got to survive.
Yeah, that's what we survive off of.
What we do is we adapt to all this underworld shit and we normalize it, not realizing this ain't normal.
Nah.
Right? So, again, we talk about the documentary all the time. Some people came up here and filmed the documentary on us. One of the homies, one of the little kids we were servicing in the documentary got shot up. And the kids who was filming the documentary was from all over the country.
All over the world.
None of them was from Chicago. All over the world.
Literally.
And I got irritated because they kept calling me trying to see if Shorty was dead or alive. And I had to check myself. Because even getting shot
is the abnormal experience.
So normalized to us. Like once he ain't dead. I move on about my day. You know what I mean? It's some.
But they every day.
But they was on me every day. Like, what's happening with Munchie? Is Munchie okay?
But we under the RICO Act.
And I'm like, man, leave me the fuck alone.
Niggas get shot every day, B.
Niggas get shot every day, B.
You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
that's not normal.
It's not.
It's not normal. Even the energy behind it is not normal.
So the brother from Atlanta, the sister from I forget what Jazz is from, and then
Alabama.
All right, Jazz from Alabama, and then the other sister from Japan, or was she from China? I don't want to get that
China.
Right. Okay, she's from China. So they like what? This like what you mean? Like the people that we out here filming got shot. I don't know if I want to come back and film no more tomorrow. Where did they get shot?
Yeah,
Same place we was filming yesterday.
Yeah, they was super shook, and I think it was her I talked to about. Like I had to check myself. Like, wait a minute, man. They really right.
Yeah,
they're right.
Right,
but because
it should be a big deal to us too.
It should be a big deal, but because we normalized it in an unhealthy way. Mm-hmm. But think about how much of our lives is commandeered in that way, right? Mm-hmm. How much time do we spend adapting to this abnormality to make it a normal thing? You know what I mean? So when it comes to growing out of those phases of growing out the neighborhood of getting, let's be clear, who's the average rapper? He's gonna be between 15 to 25.
Right.
He ain't too far removed from the shit he talking about, if he's removed at all. Right. So when he comes to those, and be clear, you looking at it, we might be looking at it from a talent perspective, but this is business. And you come into that business office with this block attitude and mentality, man, any white man in his right mind who knows his goal is to fuck you over. That's anybody's goal in business. You understand me? I want to negotiate the best situation for me.
Right, which is going to cost you.
Which is going to cost you, right? And if I know that on the back end of fucking you over, you might run up in here with a pistol, and it ain't worth my time when I got 100,000 motherfuckers knocking on my door for the same opportunity.
I can fuck them over and they won't come in here.
Fuck them over all day and they won't never come back in here with a pistol.
Right.
But you little niggas from 63rd Street, you little dudes from Halsted, you little dudes from out west, I ain't secure that y'all won't come back in here with a pistol.
Right.
I can't be.
Right.
Because that's the mentality here.
That's what Noriega was talking about on Drink Champs. He's like, man, we had a fight in the lobby at Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? They was into, I forgot what group they was into it with. But they had a fight in the lobby of Desert. He's like, that was the end for us. That was they wouldn't mess with us like that no more. They're like, oh, y'all in this thing for. He's like, it was just a little. It wasn't even like nothing crazy. It was just like a little. Really, it was words and pushing and shoving. It wasn't even the real thing like that. He was like, but they saw like y'all move with a different energy. We can't have that around here. Like,
man, I'm at a party with my cousin. He chief out in the hundreds, like chief out in the garden. Chief. You understand? He throwing a party one night. He's charging dudes like $200, $300 to park. Like. I can't even count the money. I'm getting excited. You understand me? It's outrageous how he's checking bread. You understand me?
Yeah.
But he one of them guys.
You gotta understand the people that's in that circle. You know
yeah, but he's one of them guys in the streets. Right? So somebody pulls up in one of the parking spots and he was like, yo, Chief, you gotta pay XYZ money to park here. And dude obviously didn't know who my cousin was. And I called him my little cousin, but it's only a couple months, right? And he kind of hit him with the, all right, nigga, I deal with it when I deal with it. Wrong move, right? I could see where this was going immediately. You know what I mean? But I'm also counting the money. You understand what I'm saying? Tell my cousin, like, fam, is it worth the money? You know what I'm saying?
My name is my name.
My name is my name.
Okay.
Is it worth the money?
Let them know Marlo stepped to any motherfucker. Barksdale, Omar, whoever.
Yeah, it was really my name is my name, G, and that was the end of the money. The count was done. I was like, man, I don't understand the logic behind that, but that's how we move.
Yes, that's what matters. But again, it's how we come up. We normalize certain situations. We don't really think through it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like when my little cousin got killed last year on 79th Street, I found out what happened. Like in 18 hours, I knew the whole story. Like I knew exactly what happened at what time, who did it, what block exactly, and then the next thing I did was go to that block. I'm like, okay, let me go straight to this block. I know exactly who it is, right? Down to exactly what crew, and then once I talk to y'all, now I know exactly who pulled the trigger. This ain't for me to go have a conversation with these homicide detectives who call me every day, right? I was out there on the block, and when they pulled up. I was on that block, and the homicide detectives pulled up. The same ones that I saw at the hospital pulled up on that block. I asked them earlier. I said, "Y'all know where this happened at?" They're like, "Oh no, we heard it happen." They literally had heard it happen a mile away, and I was like, when they first told me that, I was like, "Yeah, all right, no, that's not where it happened at." But I found out, and so I'm out there, and they pull up, and they're like, "Didn't we talk to you at the hospital?" "Yep." "What you doing over here?" "What y'all doing over here?" "Oh, we just following up some leads." "Me too." "What you know?" "Nothing." "What y'all know?" You definitely don't know nothing. But I know everything that happened, right? And like it's
which is why Fred Hampton was such a threat to the social standard, to the social norm. which is why Larry Hoover was such a threat to the social norm, which is why Jeff Fort was such a threat to the social norm. Right? Intellect aside, that kind of gumption matched with that kind of firepower, matched with that kind of control. You know, they say Jeff couldn't even read, right? But for you to be able to magnetize the minds of 10,000 young men and also arm them, you become, what's the name of the movie, Judas and the Black Messiah? I'm not sure which one is the Black Messiah. I'm not sure if it's Jeff or Fred. Those are real conversations that
Why
need
not?
to be had. I mean, I respect Fred Hampton and what Fred Hampton was able to accomplish. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't respect Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover and what they was able to accomplish. You know what I mean?
Okay. I thought you was talking about William or Fred.
No.
Okay, cool.
I'm saying Jeff Ford.
Okay,
Like, and it's interesting how they juxtapose those two characters in the movie. You know what I mean? Legitimately, Jeff could not read, right? And also legitimately, Fred Hampton was brilliant. At 21, brilliant. Can't take that away from him. You know what I mean? But Fred Hampton didn't have 10,000 soldiers that would die for him at his beck and call.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now he had a bigger vision than Jeff Ford. And God willing, maybe Jeff Ford could have changed with a little bit more structure or a little bit more maybe some mentoring or, you know, being in that circle a little bit longer. But you can see even in the movie, they had a camaraderie where Jeff Ford was like, I'm with this. You know what I mean? But which becomes the bigger threat? Is it a guy like Fred Hampton who has this long view of this kind of socialist empire, this socialist government? Or is it Jeff Ford who says, I take this shit over and I dare you to stop me? I think both of them are viable. You know, then they destroyed both of them men.
You need it.
You know what I mean? They had to destroy both of them.
Mandatory.
Right?
Too powerful. You pose too great a threat.
But yeah, but 10,000 people ain't no whole lot of people.
Yeah, neither is 17.
It's true. True story.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? True story.
But they bout that.
When you think about it in the construct of willing to lay down their lives for you, oh, that's a whole lot of people.
That's a different level of power.
That's a different level.
That's the Malcolm X and everybody moved that way.
What's the T.I. line? I got a tool in the vest. I can get some
respect, fam.
You know
what I'm saying?
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a tool in the vest. I can get some respect.
That's real.
That's simple.
That's real. Shout out to Tip, man. He's one of my favorite rappers. You know, I just think that, you know, there's just a certain way, there's a certain reason in the way that people kind of move, and either you like that or you ain't, and it's just fine. Like when I was talking about moving around it wasn't so that I could, you know, extract revenge or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I needed to know what happened, and I needed to know for myself. It wasn't even a big thing I was going to take to my family and find out, right? And be on that. One, because my other little cousin, who is my cousin Dion, who died, his sister, she's still outside like that. She's young and she's on the scene and she's, you know, doing the bartending, and she's always outside like that. And she's always around him and all his friends, and she was just she was too much in the middle of it, you know, for me to even consider it being that way. But I needed to know what happened. And so, you know, I'm gonna find out. I've been over here forever. I'll find out before anybody finds out. And so I just, you know, I needed to know, and I found out. And but most people is not. When you understand how things work, you understand that as random as these things seem, it ain't really all that random. You know what I'm saying? It's not really all that random. And so I understand that.
It's not random at all.
Yeah, but so when you understand that, you understand, okay, yeah, this thing happened on this block last night. But I understand that I can go on this block right here today, and nothing's about to pop. You know what I'm saying? I can walk right up to you. I know exactly what stoop y'all stand on, exactly what house y'all be at. I can come up here, and we're gonna have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go over there, you know, under certain pretenses. But I understand this thing. I understand how this thing works. You know what I'm saying? And so you just move a certain way, man. When you understand certain things, when you've had certain experiences, you move certain ways. And so when you see, you know, the kind of posturing that we were talking about earlier, or the ignorance, if you will, that we were talking about earlier with Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club and all that, it's hard to accept.
I'm gonna say this, man. The fate of Black America rests on the shoulders of the fate of black men in the city of Chicago. Period. The fate of Black America rests on the shoulders of the fate of black men in the city of Chicago.
That is a sobering pretense, bro.
Truth, right? We are Mecca for black people in America. We are the epicenter of every black movement in America. I know people don't really believe that, but it's the truth, right? Barack Obama had to come through Chicago. There's a reason for that, right? King really magnetized the energy of the world when he came through Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about Fred Hampton, right?
Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah. Michael Jordan.
A lot of people believe that Michael Jordan was placed here.
Whatever. Farrakhan.
You know what I'm saying?
All that you have to come through Chicago, and it's not even no theoretical conversation.
Just like they placed Bird and Magic where they placed him. Magic in Hollywood, Showtime Lakers, and Bird in Boston, one of the most racist cities in America, and did this black-white thing to revive the NBA. Right? They placed those two there for a reason. Right after they had the epic national championship game in 1979, Indiana State versus Michigan State. That type of thing. Same thing. A lot of people say like they placed Jordan here because they needed Chicago to be the next.
But it's science.
City.
It's not theory. It's science.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This ain't no. I'm pulling shit out the air. This is scientific.
Yeah. The two teams that drafted in front of the Bulls that year were the Houston Rockets. They took Akeem Olajuwon,
Brad Daugherty, and Akeem Olajuwon.
Sam Bowie.
That's what.
Portland took Sam Bowie, and Houston took. But it was like Hakeem, whatever. He was Hakeem, right? But it was like Jordan got to go to Chicago. Has to go to a large market. You can't put him in Portland or Houston, even for that matter. Put him in Chicago. You got Magic out there in L.A. You got Bird in Boston. Now we got the country covered. You know what I mean? And it worked masterfully.
Man,
by the way,
Alvin said, "So we the savior for Get Mythical Sky Daddy. We will be the savior of the demise. One or the other. We got to pick a team. Right now, I think we're working on the wrong end of the spectrum. But it's legitimately gonna come up out this city. It can't come up out no other place because it's the very nature of the demographics of Chicago. Right? This is the geography of Chicago." Creates the paradigm for where either we are going to rise or fall as American-born descendants of slaves, right? And because of that uniqueness, we can't hope to rely on any other city in this country because we don't have the numbers any other place in this country. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have the numbers, then you don't really have the identity. You understand what I'm saying? Even though there's a loose identity in the city of Chicago, but it's still an identity. It's something we crave. It's something we anchor ourselves into. We tribal like Africa. That's why folks and stones matter here. You know what I mean? Like that's why Chicago means so much to the people who are here. Think about that. Much shit as people talk about Chicago outside Chicago, most of the people who live here really do love that shit. We love this shit.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a different experience. But the fate of the country in regards to how we operate solely lies on what happens to black men.
Man, I love
if we rise and show up in our proper polarity, we might be able to make it a little bit while longer. We can adjust. But if we keep acting in the manner in which we're acting, or being kind of like what the movie was talking about, you know, kind of being apolitical, unconcerned, will definitely be the demise of our people.
See, I think therein lies the difference when you talk about a little bit. And I see Alvin questioning some other cities.
Not Houston, not D.C. Chicago is the epicenter of American-born descendants of slaves. Period.
So when
Cook County has the largest concentration of descendants of slaves in all of America.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
No, I feel I don't disagree with that at all. I think that when you talk about the difference between something dictating whether or not we'll make it a little bit longer or not, I think that you got to be careful there because I think that is what most people are trying to do, right? Just make it a little bit longer. Just tread water just a little bit longer. How long can I tread water? Me personally, I'm sick of treading water. For me, either we're about to swim, we're about to build a boat, or we can let this thing go ahead and go down. Because I'm like this treading water thing and walk softly and talk nice to the police so you can get home. And man, you bother me like you bother Shorty on his way home. It's up there tonight. You know what I'm saying? So like at this point, either we about to turn this thing around and we about to start living and sustaining ourselves for the long term, or this thing finna be over with soon. I ain't trying to just a few more days, another year or two. Like,
but it's an in-depth conversation.
Can we make it to one more election? We ain't electing our way out of this shit.
Right, and I think it was Bueller earlier said, I hate to see black men
B70
publicly beefing,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I think in order for us to ascend to our proper position, we have to kind of expose the frauds, because I think the frauds have been placed in a certain kind of positioning that has confused the understanding of the value sets, right? So I think there's going to have to be a lot more beefing and a lot more, like Khalid Muhammad said, we got to pull up the skirts on these dudes. You got to.
I mean, it's a natural result of people standing on what they believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm standing on what I believe in. So if you don't believe that, it kind of creates a natural standoff, right? It creates a natural bit of, you know, which side's going to prevail here.
But it's a whole lot of
But
people.
so many people that capitulate and go back and forth and just try to find that it's like
a lot of men.
Yeah,
capitulating, following the guys in skirts.
Yeah, it's like you say all the time, the little thing flailing in the wind, right? That thing is over here, then it's over here, right? And so who's gonna argue with that thing? He you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on both sides. Like, I'm not on both sides. Pick a side, and that's the side we rolling on.
Yeah, but you got to pull their skirts though, because they're usually attached to white capital, and white capital is usually what kind of captivates the minds of young black men right now. And in order to change that dynamic, you got to pull up their skirts and expose them as weak, because that's really what men gonna follow. Men gonna follow power.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to find some way to take those people who are in proximity to white capital, specifically the black men that they have in those positions now, and expose them as cowards.
Yeah.
And as soon as you can do that, you can avail yourself to a level of power and strength and courage, and young men will follow behind you.
Reese the Ruler is in the building. DJ, you heard that? Pull your nightgown down, sir. That's just kind of, you know, what it is. You gotta stand on something, man. That's it. Like, for me, like, I'm not even gonna put, you know, death talk about myself in the air. But whenever it comes, I want it to be about something real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want it to be about something real, or just because I got old, fat, and died. You know what I mean? Yeah, fat. Yeah, definitely fat. Cause I'm gonna try to eat well.
Out obese, huh?
I'm gonna keep eating well for a while, because I really am enjoying this thing that Sadiq, you know, got me on. But you know, once I get to a certain point, like, I'm gonna be ready to check out, and I don't mean this to be insensitive at all, because I know people who, you know, are handicapped and unable to get around and be self-sufficient and do for themselves, as we all would like to be able to. But once I get to that point, like, you got to put me in the tub, you got to wipe my backside, I'm really ready to bounce, like, for real. I ain't trying to hang around here for that. So when that point comes, I'm just gonna start eating anything. I'm going out fat, G. I'm going out fatter than I could be, fam. I'm eating racks of ribs for breakfast, G, with beer and yak. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be that old dude. Forget it, fam.
So I'm looking at some of these comments, and Daphne says, "Well, that's true. Water seeks its own level." Q says it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Hell, it has to. And something just happened where I can't see that comment. But I want to say this too, though, man. Like, conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Right? Conflict is oftentimes beneficial.
That is where we find,
conflict is oftentimes
solution.
beneficial. And I think because of the capitulating and the cowardice, we rarely get to see healthy conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We've created a kind of environment that cancels motherfuckers that doesn't align with anything we want to do, which avoids conflict always, which creates what Bueller talked about a couple of weeks ago, those echo chambers of bullshit. Conflict is valuable, right? And we got to have the courage to stand up in the face of not just the majority population, but even in the face of our people, because our people have been kind of infatuated with the ideas of white supremacy. Right? We align ourselves with their same level of thought, so we got to stand up in their face too without the fear of being canceled. Fuck your cancellation. You can't cancel me because I'm God ordained.
Yeah, dick.
Period. But we got to stand in that light.
You must. But that's where the freedom is at, though.
It is.
That is where the freedom is at. I act the way I act. I say the stuff I say. One, because it's just me, like it's my authentic truth. But two, I'm comfortable saying it because who gonna check me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying nothing to offend nobody. I'm just telling my truth, and I don't got to be ashamed of my truth because it's mine. And who gonna do something to me about it? About my truth? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a place you got to be. Now we can debate it, we can talk about it, but it's mine. It don't really. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to do that if I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? But I think that we live in a society where we are so concerned with how other people feel about us.
But I want everybody under the sound of my voice to really, really, really digest that statement of the fate of Black America lies in the fate of Black men in Chicago. I want that to be digested, and I want everybody to understand what that really means. And when you engage the Black men in Chicago, I want that to be preeminent in your thought and how you should engage them men, because that's the realest. That's true. Whatever happens here to Black men is gonna happen to the rest of this country for Black people. Just is what it is. There's no way around it. Yeah. So when we see the old blocks and when we see the youth struggling in the manner that they struggle, I can't think of the African tribe that says, how the children, but that's a reflection of how we are as a society and as a community. Mm-hmm. Until we start addressing how the children are and creating healthy children and creating healthy environments for the children, we sealing our own fates.
Devin, what up, bro? No, I feel you on that. I agree with you on that. I can see that. We talk about how Chicago impacts culture and influences culture across the country and ultimately across the world as it continues to spread out. And so I'm with you on that. I don't see why this would be any different. Just in terms of the outcomes here are very indicative of the outcomes you'll see in other places. It's just it just kind of is what it is in that way. So I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you on that piece at all. I got a confession.
Oh Lord!
What? It's only 15 minutes left in the show. I can't.
Dear mythical Sky Daddy, we coming to you today.
It's not that bad of a confession.
Okay, go and tell your mythical Sky Daddy.
If it was something like that, I wouldn't even call it a confession. I'll just tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? If it was something like what you thinking, I'm not going there. I ate a chicken sandwich today from McDonald's.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, it was a terrible decision. It was an awful decision. It was like I was making it slowly and I couldn't stop myself. And what's wild about that is, in normal times I don't eat McDonald's. Like even when I'm not on some health, like on some plant-based health
trash, man.
In a normal time, I do not eat McDonald's.
It is the most trash place in the world.
It's whack. The fries be banging though.
That's even trash to me now.
No, the fries be banging.
I got children. I hate that place.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Like I said, it's not even a thing. But I did go there today, and I felt terrible after it. I was like, if I was going to cheat, if I was going to fall off the wagon and not eat plant-based, I could have had something good. I could have went to Harold's or Italian Fiesta or Portillo's or something. I had McDonald's.
That's shameful.
Huh?
Candace said that's shameful. She said you're disgusting. Pray to
real wow.
Huh?
It is real wow. It's like one of them things when somebody finna tell you something and then they tell you, be like, man, that wasn't really that wild. It was.
No, I told you it was wild.
I was like, that's kind of coming from you.
I told you it was wild. I've been doing really well, G. Like I've been doing really well in this thing. I'm dead. I'm really down like 24 pounds for real. And I ain't even.
G. That's strong, G.
I haven't done a single sit up. I ain't took an extra step nowhere. Like I just eating plant based. And like 24 pounds have just fallen off my body.
That's solid.
So I'll continue to do well, but I'm just being like I'm always honest with y'all,
Shaka
man.
said, "Come on, Herb, you better, bro."
That's great. Hey, Martin, you made.
I don't know why I read that.
I don't know why you did it either, but you made him because that ain't how Shaka talk, right? Right. But you made him sound like what's the white dude that Gina worked with on Martin? You ain't watching Martin.
Yeah, Martin was ass.
So we gonna really have to get into this. Like, what's your problem?
I watch documentaries and read books.
Right,
I don't care.
And I was on the block when I was 7.
And I was on the block.
When I was 7, reading the Miseducation of the Negro to the gangsters. Martin, bro, you're literally the first person I've ever heard say that, bro.
Nah, I can't be.
You're the very first person in my entire life I've ever heard say
I
I ain't like
second
Martin.
that.
You don't like Martin? You're not even old enough to have liked Martin. Who cares?
Yeah, right. Whatever. Got different interests, cuz. Something wrong with that?
There's something wrong with the fact that you don't like Martin, yes.
Why is there something wrong with the fact that I don't like Martin's
Because
show?
it's a classic show that all black people enjoy.
Classic to who?
I just said all black people.
Do you mean them dark-skinned white people? I'm cool. I'm cool.
You such a hater, bro. Anyway, point is, there's a character on there that Jenny used to work with. He was the only white dude on the show. Martin played him, of course, too. But he was talking like that. I think his name was Bob.
Wait.
He was like, Martin.
He was a dark-skinned...
No, he was white.
And he was played by Martin?
Yes.
Okay. See what I mean?
Martin was like 15 people on the show.
What's the lady's name?
Shanae?
He played the lady too?
Yeah. Martin was like 15 people on the show.
That was the Breakfast Club of the 80s.
I'm gonna try to do this exercise with the rest of the Iswiz fam, because clearly Uncle Pushback over here is not with us. So, me, Ron, and the rest of the fam, let's try to name all of the Martin characters.
It is not classic like Good Times. It's not classic like Good Times.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It tells a different story,
It doesn't
sure.
have
but
the same rapport in the community. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Martin?
Yes.
In Good Times?
Yes.
Man, you crazy.
No, you're crazy.
You crazy.
You're crazy. If you don't think that Martin is as big of a cultural phenomenon as Good Times, you're tweaking.
No.
Whatever. Anyhow, I'm going. Martin. He played Martin. He played Bob the white dude, who was Gina's coworker. He played Jerome, Good call, Phil. He played Shanae.
Black people.
He played Mama Payne, who was his mama. Martin played his mama.
So he played two women.
At least.
And then he had a career playing older fat woman as a detective or something. What was the name of that?
What was it? Big Mama's House?
Yeah, that says a lot about us.
He was Roscoe.
See, this is why Dave Chappelle is so important to the culture.
He was Roscoe. He was Otis, the security guard.
I want y'all to look at the comments and listen to her and say how two is tripping.
The Kung Fu dude. What? You are tripping.
No, I just want y'all to pay attention to this.
What are we paying attention to?
Because
how raw Martin was?
No.
Because everybody else can name all the characters that he played on the show and you have never seen the show?
I'm not tripping, but I want you to understand the power of media. All right? So Dave Chappelle says, hey, man, I'm not putting no dress on. They say the man's crazy. And bans him from television for however long until he gets his shit together and he comes back in control of his own destiny. Right? We celebrate the rest of these black characters for mimicking women and ignorance and weakness.
So then they wasn't weak and neither was Mama Payne. They was the two biggest goons on the show.
And then we say it's classic.
It was classic.
I disagree.
Man, something is wrong with you.
I couldn't get into it, G. I'm not interested to see men run around in dresses pretending to be overly masculinized women.
Shannon said, too, my daughter said she's 16 and has seen all the episodes of Martin.
Bless her heart.
She said, take his black card.
Oh, that's cool. I'm not at all concerned about dark-skinned white people taking cards from me. Not at all.
Now we dark-skinned white people just because we like Martin and you don't.
I think that the very essence of the culture is very dark-skinned white people-ish. And that started probably with my generation. But by the blessings of God, I was raised by some warriors. So, yeah, I'm cool with that shit.
And liking Martin does not make you a dark-skinned white person.
I didn't say it does. I said I don't like it. Then y'all said my black card was taken.
I
don't
didn't
think
say
that's
that.
a definitive to my black card.
16-year-old Nisi Poo said
Let's go book for book on black people and black culture and black consciousness. And then let's see who black card gets taken. Let's go.
Now he's touched.
Let's go
Now
experience for experience.
Now he's touched.
No, let's go experience
Now he's touched.
for experience.
You want
to I just want to see what validates blackness.
You want everybody black card in the comments. If
I just want to see what validates blackness.
So you want to argue with 16-year-old Iswiz's niece?
No, I'm not arguing with the 16-year-old nobody. You the one said that
I read the niece's comment.
They can't believe.
I can't believe you.
Like Martin.
Yes, I can't believe that.
In our community.
It is.
It's
That's a
whole
fact.
lot of shit that was staples in our community can't nobody speak to. That's problematic.
Martin is cold. Whatever, man. You tweaking.
I know he was a goofy too, Brandon.
You tweaking, man. Martin is raw, and that's just the end of that.
Actually, Two's favorite movie is Coolie High. Actually, that's the truth.
Okay.
I'm responding to the comments.
You don't have no issue with the fact that they had a black gorilla throw shit on a black man?
No, I'm cool.
They had a monkey dancing. That don't bother you?
Not at all.
All that cooning don't bother you?
Was the monkeys are cool?
Yeah, it's always black people with monkeys and apes and climbing up trees and bananas and shit throwing. That don't bother you? Huh?
Not at all. I
Nah?
like it. True story though.
What,
I would say
man?
this though. I can't remember the brother's name. The dude who actually wrote Coolie High also wrote Good Times. Also wrote, I forgot what else he wrote, right? They robbed him of all of that. I met the man. He was living in a homeless shelter.
Oh, wow.
Right? And we was doing an interview with him. And in order for us to get an interview with him, he told me I had to bring him a dime bag of weed. Or he would not interview with me.
Got to meet you where you at. Did you bring the dime bag of weed?
I bought him a little more than that.
See? Got to meet them where they are, man. Meet people where they are, too, even if they are watching.
That's some sad shit, though. Think
Martin.
about that, G.
It's very sad.
Times it's still in syndication.
Very sad.
Coolie High is what Coolie High is. And I can't think of the other one, but it's something very, very popular. It's very, very popular. It's also in syndication, but I can't think of which one it was.
Okay.
The man lives in the
Maybe the
homeless
Jeffersons?
shelter, bro. He lives in the homeless shelter. I don't know if he's still alive. Me and Keisha interviewed him. It had to be like 10 years ago. And he was like, man, bring me some weed. And I was like, I got you. That's sad, bro.
It's very, very sad, man.
Eric Monty. That's right. That's him. Shaka, look at Shaka. Go ahead, boy.
Alvin, too, the resident comedian coming through with the Eric Monty.
Eric Monty was in the asshole. But he was cool after the weed. After the weed, he was good boy.
He was cool. All I'm saying is, Shaka said he died.
That's sad.
Yeah. People tend to do that. Man, I can't believe you. You gotta at some point you gotta stop this, bro.
What?
Martin, Boys to Men, you gotta stop this at some point, G.
Why? I gotta like what you like.
Because it's blasphemous. That's why.
Boys, the men's blasphemous too. They one of them staples too.
Yes.
Niggas wearing cardigan sweaters and shorts is a staple in the black community.
No, the way they dress was trash.
Oh God,
the music is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm cool on both of them.
You're not cool.
I ain't mad at Martin. You know what I'm saying? Salute. What's the last movie he came out with Will Smith? I took
Bad Boys 3.
Took my kids to go see it.
Have you ever seen what's the movie he came? Bad Boys.
Yeah, I saw the whole franchise.
Did you? Good.
Yeah, I saw about 6 episodes of Martin too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, look at you.
See, I'm on it.
Just cultured.
Not interested, but I've seen it. Right? I watch it before I make a determination on what I think of it.
Anyhow, man.
Martin's ass. Philip Samuels is right. The Boys and Men's is trash.
No, they aren't.
They trash.
No, they aren't. That's just not true.
Look at that. Reese said Boys and Men was kind of trash to me.
He wears nightgowns to bed.
I'm not in that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not in that.
He wears nightgowns to bed. Let's be for real.
I'm not in that.
You know what I'm saying? He's a tall T tutor.
Everybody say you on your own with the Boys and Men thing.
I don't care. I'll be on my own. Me, and all the hundreds of million people who bought those albums. We all just me.
What you say, Rob?
I'm not riding with Martin, but I ride with Boys to Men. They made Mama.
It's unbelievable. They've made everything.
They made Mama.
They made everything, man.
I don't even know what that is. Okay.
Yes, you do. It's a song. It's called A Song for Mama.
Bless their hearts.
Whatever, man.
Was they better than Jodeci?
In my opinion, yes.
Nah, that's
Jodeci's my third favorite R&B group of all time.
Who's number 2?
112.
Oh my God.
What?
He's super high. I
Put 112 over Jodeci?
Yeah, you want to go song for song or no? It sounds good that Jodeci is the better group. I hear you. It sounds amazing. But we can go track for track, and I guarantee you,
it might have been the Cardigans for me. I couldn't take it.
We can go track for track about it if you want. We could do a Boyz II Men Jodeci versus.
What was the lead singer's name? Wanye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Wanye's fire.
Okay, I'm cool.
Okay.
112 was trash too.
112 is trash. All right.
They was.
Okay, cool.
They not better than Josie at all.
Okay, fam. I get it. I hear y'all talking. I understand it.
Well, it's 5:56, man. We've done our job for the day.
Y'all make sure y'all hang out with us here on the network later this evening. In the Zone with Brian Foster launches at 7 o'clock. Then at 8:30, Week Ho Wednesday.
Kimo Sabi, big ballin' is my hobby.
Reese the Ruler. And Toy.
What's the conversation? Kimo Sabi, big ballin' is my hobby. What's the conversation for tonight?
Some mythical sky alternative lifestyle man asked him a question. I'm starting to
says Don Millhouse picked out all the Boys and Men's outfits. That speaks volumes.
I could believe that.
I believe it too.
I can believe that. I can absolutely believe that.
I definitely believe that.
Yeah, she's turned into the black Farisha Gump. Like she just anyway, hang out with Reese the Ruler and Toy tonight, We Code Wednesday. Before that, In the Zone with Brian Foster. Gonna be hanging out right here on the network. That starts at 7 p.m. and it is immediately followed by We Code Wednesday. So make sure y'all hanging out with us out here on the network, man. Too, anything before I never got a chance to say what I wanted to say about Bobby Shmurda.
Oh, I'm sorry. What you want to say?
Yeah, because you instantly get all up in arms, and then you go down this road, and then I forget to come back to what I was trying to get to.
God dog it.
Yeah, I know. Salute to Bobby Shmurda, man.
Salute. I'm glad he came home. I don't want to see nobody like that.
Yeah, but that's cool too. But I mean, salute to the fact that he was gone in the first place. Not that he was gone, but how he got there.
What you mean?
This is a dude who had an opportunity to not go to prison, continue his just budding hip hop career, right? Right when it just took off. He had the number one song in the country. He had everybody doing the Bobby Shmurda about a week ago dance. And then this indictment came down on his whole crew. And then they gave him an option to do like a year or like probation, stay out on the road. Right? Obviously, he had money, some lawyers, he had backing of a major label that was willing to put that up, and he could have beat the case. His boy would have had to do 14 years though. Right? The other option was instead of your boy doing 14 years, your boy do 7 years, and you do 7 years. He was like, "I'll do my 7 too." Then, very few people are making that decision.
Quick question:
very few people are making
comparing
that
the two, him and the colorful hair boy. What's his name?
Uzi?
Nah, the Mexican boy.
Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Him, right? This week he pulls up on Meek Mills, calling him all kind of.
Yeah, they trying to lock Meek up. They trying to lock Meek up.
I'll do something to you, right? When he came home, he was talking about, nobody's gonna touch him, nobody's gonna do this, nobody's gonna do that. Right. Put out a record and it went like top of the charts immediately. Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to see the biggest levels of success between those two characters, the Bobby Shmurders and what's my man's name, Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Yeah, Snitch 9 is going to see higher levels of success.
Do you think that's because of the community he's able to touch, or do you think that's because
we are clowns, cowards, and tuned into the wrong thing? Nipsey Hussle, God rest his soul, put it perfectly about Tekashi in an interview, and he was like, "Man, I'm not even mad at Tekashi. I'm mad at the people for giving this attention. Like, you don't give attention to sucker shit dies." You know what I'm saying? Everybody gives their attention to that. So he pop up on O Block at 3 a.m, pop at 4 a.m, popping off. Look at where I'm at. Fam, stop it. Okay? Stop it. But everybody gives that attention. He comes out, makes the record. People give it attention. People like, forget dude. He ain't let him say whatever he wants. Don't give him any attention. That is how I've moved nowadays.
So I don't be in the mix. I'll be knowing, right?
Yeah, even I see like if somebody pops in here and says something negative, I'm not finna address it. Like, let it go. It'll just fade away. Don't nobody give it no attention. It will fade away.
I remember when Shorty pulled up on O Block though, right? And it was Dirk and Vaughn was like, "Man, okay."
Right.
And I thought that was very interesting because I know both of them little dudes, and they both was a genuine article. You know what I'm saying? Like, they about that action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there was a whole nother crew of people. I remember when it happened, like people in Chicago was like, we kept, lower level guys. When I see you, I'm gonna see you and all that. And I just thought it was interesting, the difference between those two dynamics. But either way, it is.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's also why the fate of the black community rests in the hands of the fate of the black male in Chicago. That same energy right there.
Yeah. You just leave that crap alone. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he pulled up. Nobody's out there. Anybody who knows anything about Parkway, it's hard to find a time to pull up when nobody's out there. So the fact that you was out there when nobody else was, fam, beat it. Okay, fine. You put up when nobody was there. Pull up when it's cracking out there and pop off, fam. You will not make it off that block. So stop it. You know what I'm saying? Just cut out the foolishness. All I want to do was salute Bobby Shmurda for making a decision that very, very, very few people would make, especially in that circumstance. If he had nothing to lose, very few people would make that decision. He made the decision when he had everything to lose and went and did his 7 years. So his homeboy didn't have to do 14. I respect it and salute it. I am loyal to I never say loyal to a fault because I just don't think there's anything, like, it just is what it is.
We got to stop making prison a rite of passage too, though.
I'm not making it a rite of passage.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying
Okay.
in general.
Okay.
It's part of the culture, though. It is. Like, being on the block at 7, you see it. It wasn't my rite of passage, but it was a whole lot of people who had that expectation, and some levels, I'd almost say desire to go to prison.
Oh yeah, no, that's for real. The people come on with a badge of honor for that, and I that's always whack for sure. I wasn't even trying to make that. No way. I'm just saying the decision that he made was admirable. I respect it and salute it. Shout out to Bobby Shmurda for doing that time, and welcome home, kid. Hope he gets back on his grind and becomes everything that he was destined to be, whether he stole it from the shot or not. We gotta go. Y'all make sure y'all get up real early tomorrow and hang out at the Ruthie Moore Show with Maze, with Todd, with Sonya. Then stick around for the Book of Dawn before you hang out with Tennille for parenting in a pandemic with Tennille. And then what's tomorrow? Thursday? Green side of things. You and I gonna hop on the green side of things tomorrow. We'll be there like 2:00. Green side of things starts at 1. You and I will be there at 2, hanging out with Sadiq and Cassie, and then we'll be leading right into I Said What I Said. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 3:00. Until then, for Ron Rilla and Toussaint Werner, my name is Herb Howard. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Salam alaikum.
WIIFTBPN.
You about that life? I'm about that life. You ain't really about that life. If you really about that life, JC, spit a key. Let me test your work. Boss, you the boss? Let me test your work. Jesus, you talking breezy? Let me test your work. Cam, you the man? Let me test your work. Dre and Snoop, like that chronic, I need something stronger. Molly cute, that's like an aspirin for my daughter. Big time, in the club with a case of Ace, and now I sniff that whole table. Scarface, another court case. I'm a frequent offender. When Wyclef was hot, I was gone to November. 6 years, hard time. Bobby was fucking up, Whitney could have been mine. We would have been so high and so in love. When Amy Winehouse died, I could have saved her. I could have smoked like half of